This Kamala Harris pick. By the way, like the new shirt? I did wear this on Sunday, on the stream Sunday, but it's a nice shirt. This pick of Kamala's, there's so much to get really deep into with what is going on here. And I'm going to do that. We'll go through some of the craziness with the guy. But this is the most idiotic pick. And I'll break it all down in 19 seconds when we'll be live on the air. My name's Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk. We're about to go live on the radio in 8, 5, 3, 2, 1. Go.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
It sure is. Welcome, everyone. Coming up on 6 minutes after 6 o'clock in the morning. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, the Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. And, of course, we're going to talk about Kamala's pick, which is so strange, so bizarre, and there are several things in play as to what is going on here. And one of them is this, but there's a bigger picture which I'm going to share with you because there's more than one thing in play with this Tim Walz lunatic. I mean, he is certifiably insane. He's a China spy. He's got stolen valor. He's white BLM. He's one of the most liberal people that holds public office in this country. And how did this happen? Not just liberal, radically liberal. He's white BLM. There's not one redeeming quality about this guy to the American people. So what's going on here, there's several different things going on, different groups, different factions and everything. And I'll share with you my thoughts, and I certainly do want to hear yours at 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. All right. Now, one thing that I've been telling you guys about the last few weeks is this. I believe the Democrats have accepted a loss of the presidential race. It doesn't mean all of them. I'm talking about the party leadership. They've accepted a loss of the presidency. President Trump is too popular. His following is too large, especially after the assassination attempt. And now we find out there was another one. We'll get into that later. There was a second one. They got a guy. And I'm not talking about the Chinese guy that showed up to Mar-a-Lago, another one on top of that. But what I was talking about before Biden dropped out, and oh boy, has Trump really dropped something huge, which I'll get to in a few minutes early on, because it's very important before we get too involved in Walz. But one of the things I was talking about before Biden dropped out, but there was talk of it, is that I don't think the Democrats plan on winning the presidency. I think they've accepted that. But their internal polling is telling them that they've got a lot of problems when it comes to the congressional races. They don't expect to win the House. They're going to lose seats in the Senate, too. We're going to have the House without question. We're going to have a pretty solid majority, not like this thing we got going on now. In the Senate, I don't know, but we're going to gain seats in the Senate, too. Senate's a little more difficult. But I believe their internal polling shows them that some of the old guard establishment Democrats will lose their seats in Congress. And that they can't handle. They don't mind losing the election, but the power brokers have to remain in power. So I think what they're doing is a move to save some of the old guard congressional seats, people that have been there 20, 25 years and more. All right? And I think that's been in play from the very, very beginning of this. This is what so much of this has been about. Also, the party is pretty much run by Nancy Pelosi and Barack Obama. And Pelosi may have more juice than even Obama. And we do know, because it was widely reported, that when Obama called Biden and told him that if you don't drop out of the race, the 25th Amendment's going to come into play. Obama very specifically told Biden, do not endorse Kamala Harris. And then he did. Pelosi was first introduced to Kamala Harris when she was Willie Brown's girlfriend, okay? Kamala Harris is probably not aware of anything that we're talking about, okay? But Pelosi and Obama do not want Kamala to be president for different reasons. Obama wanted to decide it at the convention. He thought there was a hope. He wanted to have the mini primary go on at the convention because he told Biden specifically Kamala cannot win. He wanted Kelly out of Arizona, okay? Pelosi, it was reported, is the power Democrat Party boss that told Kamala to pick this joker yesterday. I think because of Pelosi's snob factor, she doesn't want Kamala to be president. She was introduced to her as a sugar baby, as Willie Brown's side piece. She doesn't want to have to stand up every time Kamala walks in the room and walk behind her and call her Madam President. Okay? So both of these two are working against Kamala. But proof that the Democrats do not plan on winning the presidency is beyond that this guy is just the most extreme lunatic liberal there is. He's more radical than Bernie Sanders. And he's got so much baggage. Okay? But she didn't pick the governor of Pennsylvania or Kelly in Arizona. Pennsylvania and Arizona are both swing states, battleground states. She picked this lunatic from Minnesota, which is very blue. That's where Paul Wellstone was from, Walter Mondale, and of course, Al Franken. Okay? So it's a blue state. Very blue state. And if you know, I've been telling you guys in the polls, I talked about this yesterday, but I've been talking about the last couple weeks, Donald Trump is solidly ahead in the battleground states. And that's all I look at. I don't look at the national polls. I look nowhere else. I just look at the battleground states. He's been ahead from the get-go. We're more than 2 weeks into Kamala Harris's run. He's still ahead. He's got them. And they decided to not go with a swing state senator or governor because it wouldn't matter. Even with the governor of Pennsylvania, they were not able to swing Pennsylvania in their internal polling away from Donald Trump. So the fact that they didn't make a play for two battleground states where they had an opportunity, that tells you something, doesn't it? It really does. They've given up on the presidency. Now, I know there's different reports. There's some reports that say 12 people turned this down. I don't know if that's true. I think that might have been some rumor that got started. The governor of Pennsylvania, they said he turned it down after he met her and talked to her for a couple minutes. I don't know. There's an anti-Semitic factor, no doubt about that, as to why she didn't pick him. But I believe they've given up on the presidency. And Kamala is being set up to go down in a humiliating defeat. Now, we're going to take our first break on time. President Trump has revealed something yesterday that I'm going to share after the break. And I want to hear your thoughts on all of this, including what President Trump did yesterday and said yesterday about all of this, which was absolutely amazing. Okay? And then I'll get into some of the details about Walz and who really pushed him on to Kamala Harris. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. Big announcement from MyPillow. Free shipping on orders over $75 is back as of this morning. So they've got the $25 extravaganza prices going on, right? The 6-piece MyPillow towel sets, $25 with our promo code Kane. The dish towels, $25. The MyPillow sheets, $25. The MyPillow Giza Elegance pillows, $25. And, you know, all the $25, the slippers and the sandals, $25 with our promo code Kane at checkout. But it's also free shipping on orders over $75. So you get, 2 sets of the towels and the dish towels. Boom, there you go, free shipping. There you go. So it's a pretty good deal. So free shipping is back on orders over $75 with our promo code Kane at checkout at mypillow.com. By the way, that free shipping on orders over $75 is site-wide. So take advantage of it while it lasts. My wife and I, we've started our Christmas shopping, and sorry guys, if you're in my circle of people that receive gifts, you're going to get something from My Pillow. And right now, with these $25 specials, and now with the free shipping on orders over $75, it's Christmas in August. I know people do Christmas in July. It's Christmas shopping time in August. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879, 1-800-716-4879, promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. We'll be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling
All
from?
right.
Good morning, Brian. I just want to say thank you for Dr. Appleton because I'm from Orlando. It took 3 hours to go down there. It took my 90-year-old mom. My mom walked straighter than she ever walked in her life. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being such a willing vessel to talk about Dr. Appleton.
That's amazing. So you heard me in Orlando talking about Dr. Appleton and drove to South Florida with your mother to see him.
Yeah, my mom is awesome now. Awesome. No more arthritis, no more pills, none of that. She's going back to New York. She sits on the train for 24 hours. And I'm telling you, no pain. She gets off that train, and my sister says she walks like a young woman.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
Call Dr. Appleton and say bye-bye to your pain, too. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710.
Okay. Yeah, what President Trump is suggesting is absolutely amazing. So, guys, what are your thoughts on Walz? I mean, it's a great gift. Oh, the camera's backwards. Okay, I'll fix the camera. Maybe you guys like it better that way. I don't know. Let me fix the camera. Hold on, I gotta take it off here. Hey guys, hold on. Okay, hold on. It's so funny. Every day when I start the live stream, I check. When I first start it, I check it before the show, and today I didn't check it, and the camera was flipped the other direction. It's so funny of that because I check it every day, and it's fine. One day I don't check it, and it's flipped the other way. But maybe you guys like looking at the other direction, right? Maybe that's a better look. Maybe it's more interesting to watch the levels. It's so funny how you, I check something like that every day, and it's fine. And the one day I don't check it, it's backwards. Same thing go with the phones. I turn the phones on every morning, and I check them every morning. I'll forget once a month, every 2 months. And that's the day I will have forgotten, that the phones won't be switched forward to the radio station. It's just bizarre. Oh, I appreciate that, JP. That's a terrible thing to say. Well, you're kind of like the radio listeners. You can't see me. You can only hear me. That's right, Mark. It's checklist like a pilot, but I changed my morning routine and a couple of other things, and it's messed me up.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at TrueOldiesFLA.com.
All righty, we are back. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. It is Wednesday, August 7th, 2024. Oh, man. Okay, so we'll get into Walz, but after this announcement came out yesterday, which is a loser ticket, I mean, have you heard anybody credibly say anything other than this is a crazy losing ticket? And President Trump, he was very busy posting on social media yesterday, but he posted something, and this took off online yesterday. This was on Truth Social. Trump posted this. What are the chances that crooked Joe Biden, the worst president in the history of the United States, crashes the Democrat National Convention and tries to take back the nomination? He feels he made a historically tragic mistake by handing over the U.S. presidency, and now he wants it back. Now, President Trump wrote. He wrote a lot of other things, talking about Crazy Nancy and everything, too. And he said that more than once yesterday. It was all over the place yesterday. And that is a fascinating thing because, you know, when Trump's, and it sounds nuts, but when Trump says things, he doesn't just make stuff up. He's a very well-connected person. He has a lot of sources. He gets a lot of information from people that are on the inside. People leak things out of the White House, and then those things get leaked to other people, and it makes its way over to Donald Trump. And Kamala Harris does not have the nomination yet. They've not yet had the convention, and there's a lot of regret. I saw Jill Biden at the Olympics last week, and she looked depressed. I mean, a lot of regret. And now with this disastrous pick, oh boy. I wouldn't even suggest this if President Trump had not brought it up multiple times yesterday about Joe Biden possibly making a surprise appearance at the convention and going for the nomination. I hope that happens because it would be complete chaos, and chaos among the Democrats is good for us, and that's something that we certainly want. But do you think that's a possibility? And I got news for you. I would say no if President Trump had not posted it on Truth Social. But the fact that President Trump put it on Truth Social tells me that there is something to it. All right? And I find that amazing. Now, this pick of Walz, as I was telling you, there's a couple things in play, okay? One of them is that Kamala is being set up to a certain degree here to lose. There's no doubt about it. But this guy, Walz, he's a Chinese spy, all right? He went to China and started this study thing in 1989 after Tiananmen Square. And people forget, you know, about Tiananmen Square. They really do in this country. I don't think they teach about it. You don't hear about it too often. You see that photo of the Chinese guy in front of the tank. You ever see that photo in Tiananmen Square? You know, that tank ran him over after that picture was taken, okay? It was insane. And he went there after. And he was involved in a PR business with China. These student trips that he took over to China, Walz, were paid for by the CCP. Remember, he went over there for his honeymoon, all these things. He's been praising China since '89. He probably speaks it. He's been over there so much. He lived there for quite some time, and he's traveled there over 30 times. This guy's a Chinese asset. And this whole time until a couple weeks ago, since Kamala joined forces with Biden, I thought, because others reported on this and there was a lot of speculation, how did she become the vice president? Because she tore him a new one in that first debate, right? Tore him up. And the Bidens hate her, and that's the kind of thing it's hard to walk back from, right? And I had thought that Obama pushed her on Biden, and then we find out that Kamala's husband has this consulting firm which I don't even know what that means, consulting firm. That's so vague, right? But he's partnered with the CCP. He hires CCP government officials to work for him and everything else. He's a Chinese operative, a Chinese asset. He's made millions of dollars off China. He still does today, and he's got that connection. And then all this stuff comes out about Walz with his Chinese connections, okay? And he's probably a Chinese spy in this country, even though he's an American. I think there's a good chance China pushed this on her because Kamala, through her husband, has a lot of connections to the CCP. I know this sounds nuts, but, you know. And even though Kamala Harris is going to lose and Walz is not going to be the vice president, he's now on the national stage. He's been elevated. He's a household name. Everyone knows his name now. So even after they lose, he's going to be elevated. He'll probably end up in the Senate at some point. And it's, you know, very well known that China is operating a very successful psychological warfare operation against the United States. This whole gender-affirming stuff is part of the Chinese propaganda war that they're winning against us with the TikTok. They got a lot of these things going through TikTok. All right? I've talked about this a lot. And elevating this guy, Walz, if it's true that he's a Chinese asset, and I believe he is, would be all the reason they would push him as the running mate for Kamala. You saw the stories yesterday. 71% of Americans had never heard of him. I heard of him a couple days ago. Well, I mean, I may have heard of him in the past, but I don't remember. But I really heard of him a couple days ago. He is the one that started this thing that J.D. Vance is weird. That stupid thing they were saying, J.D.'s weird. He started that. And there were a couple other appearances on television that I've seen in the last few days. One of them I played yesterday on the show when he was talking about Trump. He calls Trump a bastard. He doesn't say his name. I don't know if that'll continue on the campaign trail. But now everybody knows his name. Everyone knows about him. And I'll tell you another thing I don't believe. This transformation, there have been a lot of people that say he used to be a reasonable Democrat. And I'm not saying that wasn't true when he was in Congress, but people have been saying he used to be a reasonable Democrat, and then he became this radical BLMer. I think he was undercover before, and he came out of the closet when it became more acceptable to be radical in the Antifa BLM era. I don't think he ever was a reasonable Democrat. I think that was just a fake thing he was doing to work his way up. I think he's a Chinese asset. I think he has always been a Chinese asset, at least since '89. If they recruited him when he was over there then or before, I don't know. I mean, going to China right after Tiananmen Square is insane, all right? It's like going to Afghanistan after 9/11. People didn't go to China after Tiananmen Square. It was a big deal. So there's a lot of things in play here. We'll take our break for the bottom of the hour. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. We'll be right back.
Making morning radio great again. It's the Steve Kane Show.
I'll have that done in just a second, Mike. I forgot.
Wednesday morning.
Greatest rock and roll hits of the 60s and 70s coming up this morning. From the All-Year Cooling Weather Center, South Florida's #1 choice for same-day AC service and installation. Here's your oldies forecast.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Michael Marone from the All-Year Cooling Weather Center. Today is August 7th, 2024, and right now it is 78 degrees outside. As we go throughout the day, though, temperatures are going to reach as high as 93 degrees with a heat advisory in effect.
There you go. I just sent it. I forgot in the last break. Did you get it? All right.
Stay cool, stay hydrated, and enjoy the rest of your Wednesday morning.
Weather brought to you by All-Year Cooling. Enjoy free AC replacement estimates along with same-day service and installation. Visit allyearcooling.com to schedule your service today. And remember, the All-Year family is here to serve your family all year long. And now, a True Oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm.
Did you get it, Mike?
Delay free and crash free on the turnpike at 95 north and south through Jupiter.
Yeah, I just sent it to you. I forgot in the last break. I'm sorry.
This traffic update is sponsored by Allstate. Some people just know their best rate for you is a rate based on you with Allstate, not one based on anyone else. So if you drive safe,
Hey guys, welcome. If you're new, subscribe.
Visit allstate.com or call for a quote today. That's traffic. I'm Dory Don.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. BBKC offers exciting OTB action from top horse tracks, including Saratoga Racetrack, now through September 1st. Visit our incredible paddock restaurant with over 140 new HD TVs, big screens, exceptional dining, and full bar. Coming up live in the paddock, it's the Rat Pack Now, August 23rd. Comedian Johnny Goomba, September 28th. The Pure Zeppelin Experience, October 11th. Let It Be, November 8th, and more. Go to pbkennelclub.com.
Hey, my true oldies listeners, John Tesh here with some intelligence for your retirement this time. When you're looking for a retirement advisor, you know trust and experience are two big qualities to look for. And as it turns out, my friend Jupiter Joe Thomas possesses both of these.
All right. I'm just getting some things queued up for the next segment.
I want you to give local expert Joe Thomas a call. Here's the number, 561-743-0999. Or, even simpler, you can go to jupiterjoe.com. Mention my name, John Tesh. You'll receive a free copy of Joe's book,
Even before that, it sounds better than the other board ops. Have you heard them?
743-0999. Or
Yeah, you got to listen. The nighttime and the weekend, oh my gosh.
jupiterjoe.com.
Brian Craig here. Our 6th annual.
They might have them stop doing them, some of them. They're really bad.
I mean, honestly, I could record and send it to them.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
I'm telling you, they're pretty bad. I mean, I would never tell them, but,
Yeah. But
You know.
they want quality. Just
Yeah.
They know where to come.
Yeah, exactly.
Much, much more. Call in at Cruise and Travel Depot right now. 561-244-5779. 561-244-5779. And online at cruisingdepot.com to make your reservation and lock in our private group rate. Nothing comes close to Celebrity Cruises.
The best way to protect your family from the effects of a hurricane is to make a disaster plan. In the same way you plan for your family, it's important to also make a plan for your pets. Making a pet plan ensures you
Unbelievable.
can care for your pets when the storm threatens your
Oh
home.
my gosh.
You can locate pet-friendly shelters, find a list of supplies you may need to bring with you, and other information that can help you and your pets.
I'm not having a good day.
By visiting makeapetplan.com.
Not having a good day.
This message is sponsored by the Florida Division of Emergency Management, the Florida Association of Broadcasters, and this radio.
Yeah, I showed you guys this shirt, but I had the camera flipped the wrong way. I wore this on the stream on Sunday. I love this shirt. It's a great one.
That's 954-753-8080. There are 5-star rated plans that you can enroll in the middle of the year. That's right. You don't have to wait for open enrollment. Debbie and her family have been taking care of Steve Kane Show listeners since 1993. Debbie even handles Steve Kane's Medicare. So if you're not happy with your current Medicare plan, give Debbie a call.
We'll be back right after this.
Go over the options. 954-753-8080. Debbie can help you no matter where you're located in the state of Florida. 954-753-8080.
Yep.
And online, I will advise
Yeah, don't feel bad to remind me, because I'll forget.
Now, back to
I won't
the
be
Steve
offended
Kane
if I,
Show
because.
with Brian Craig, celebrating 47 years.
All right, I am really having a Joe Biden-like morning of slippage. You know, I have a routine in the morning. I've switched up my routine. I got a couple things going on. I'll get back to the issues in a minute, but this is just really messed up today. On my YouTube live feed I was on in the first segment, I had the camera facing the computer monitor, not me. I always check the computer monitor. I always check the camera when I start it, and I didn't check it today. It was facing the wrong direction for the first segment of the show. And the other thing I always do every morning when I get to the radio station, first thing I do is check the phones and make sure the phones are on, because we switch the phones off when the show's not live. And I didn't do that today, and I did not. I had the phone switched off I just turned them on during the bottom of the hour break. And what's happened is I got two things going on. I have given up drinking soda, which I drink a lot of Coke. Okay, I drink as much Coca-Cola as the Biden family uses the other kind. I really enjoy. So I've cut out Coke. So I'm like, this is my second or third day. So I'm going I am in Coca-Cola withdrawal. I want to say Coca-Cola because I don't want to say Coke, and then people think I'm talking about that stuff they have in the White House. But I'm my second or third day without Coca-Cola, so I'm going through some withdrawals on that. And a few months ago we took in these rescue kittens, and they're getting kind of big now. And I'm allergic to cats, and I'm very allergic to cats. Having one cat is no problem, but 3 of them is very difficult. So I've been trying every allergy treatment there is. And I found some that work really good, but they make me really tired, or I can't think straight. There's all these side effects. So I've been going through multiple allergy medications over the last few weeks. And between that, and I've changed my diet a little bit too, on top of just Coca-Cola. So, so sometimes when you are going through withdrawals and you're changing things up and you're altering medications and everything, sometimes it can mess you up in the morning. So, so I had the phones off the first half hour of the show, had the camera facing the wrong direction. I don't know what else is going wrong today, but we're going to keep on trucking. Okay, so this lunatic, I'm glad I found it out. I've gone through almost whole shows without the phones on. And I thought, oh, well, I guess I'm just not interesting today. I'll just keep on talking. I don't care. It's happened many, many times over the years. But anyway, this lunatic Walz, all right? This lunatic Walz, he is liberal beyond imagination, but so is his wife. And he and his wife are so strange. Listen to this. Now, of course, you know that he allowed Black Lives Matter to burn down anything they wanted to burn down in the state of Minnesota. So his wife gave an interview and talked about what she did during the Minneapolis BLM riots, which was just it's insane. Listen, this is Waltz's wife.
I would say those first days, when there were riots, I could smell the burning tires. And that was a very real thing. And I kept the windows open for as long as I could because I felt like that was such a touchstone of what was happening.
Okay. So she left the windows open as long as she could so she could smell the burning and the rioting. She couldn't be there. She couldn't be a part of it. But she was supporting it and trying to experience it by just having the aroma of the burning tires in her home during the riots. And my wife had an interesting observation or a take on Walz and his wife. They are obviously completely insane. And when I say insane, I don't mean just like, there are people that are liberal and, I believe that Walz and his wife are certifiably insane. I think that if a psychologist or a psychiatrist did a mental health exam of these two, they could be committed. I think they're that far gone. Plus, he's committing treason as a Chinese asset. But what my wife had said to me, which I thought, because we were talking about this on my podcast last night, is a really great description of Walz and his wife when it comes to Black Lives Matter and their reaction. My wife says their liberalism and their support of Black Lives Matter isn't just typical liberal support of leftist ideology, right? They have a fetish for black people. And I think they do. You heard him on that clip I played. I want that bastard, that's what he calls Trump, to wake up the next morning knowing he lost to a black woman. The Pennsylvania governor yesterday said crazy stuff about white privilege. Walz has talked about white privilege. Ben Stiller, was talking. He said every white Jewish guy wants to be a black man and all this stuff yesterday. It's become a fetish with these white bleeding hearts, and they really, it's racist. They view themselves as really overseers. They kind of see themselves back in the old slave plantation days over black. It's very bizarre what's going on. But when if this, and I'll tell you what's crazy about this ticket with these two lunatics, Kamala and Walz, if this was 2020, their candidacy wouldn't be as big of a joke as it is today, all right? Right now, it's a complete joke, and everyone accepts that it's hopeless, there's no way, they're too radical. But right after the George Floyd incident, this probably would have been considered a somewhat credible team of people. So this China business that's going on, okay, now this is, a political operative and Chinese asset. So he's been very active in everything he's done, and because everything that Walz has done his entire life was to elevate himself to the next level. He's literally a Manchurian candidate. So is she, but he's a Manchurian candidate. He made sure that whatever he did, no matter how outrageous it was, stolen valor, whatever it was, that it was documented in a newspaper somewhere so he could get credit for it to elevate himself. So the thing about Walz that's amazing, this guy that 71% of Americans never heard of before yesterday, I only heard of him a couple days ago. I'd like to know how many people heard of him a week ago, 2 weeks ago. Okay? He is documented his entire lunatic life. So he went to China. This is in a local newspaper. Tim Walz went to China right after the Tiananmen Square massacre in '89, and then in '94 took his honeymoon there. And that's when he and his wife opened up this Chinese exchange program business, which was paid for and backed by this CCP. And there's an article in a newspaper, the exchange, this exchange program that he set up. This is in a newspaper back in the early 90s, and it reports that it was arranged by a friend of Walz's in China's Foreign Affairs Department. Well, the Foreign Affairs Department of China is the Chinese intelligence agency, all right? It's their equivalent of the CIA. Whatever the CCP's equivalent of the CIA is, it's that. And he's been working with them since then. The only question is, when was he recruited? Was it that trip in '89 or was it before? So we'll take our last break of the first hour. We'll continue to go through this. I do have the phones on now. I think, is everything else going okay? I mean, I don't know. I mean, did I turn my mic on? Never. If I didn't have headphones, I probably wouldn't have done that today. Sorry, I'm going through withdrawals. That's why I have a lot of sympathy for people that are trying to give up addiction to drugs, like real drugs. I give up coffee, I give up Coca-Cola, and I'm like out of it. I can only imagine what it's like for someone who's addicted to cocaine or something. What must they go through? Because I know when I give up these little tiny things, that I'm having problems. All right, our number is toll free 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. I want to tell you guys about Dr. Appleton. Oh my goodness. His laser away pain treatment, it is 100% painless. There were no injections. There were no shots. There's no downtime. And it's 100% painless, and it works. He's rid me of pain 5 times, and it works on every type of pain I've ever heard of. Arthritis, bronchial neuralgia, bursitis, hip pain, knee pain, lumbar pain, muscular contraction, sciatica, strains and sprains, tinnitus, tennis elbow, neck pain, stenosis, and that's just an impartial list of all the pains that the laser away pain treatment with Dr. Appleton works on. Appointments are never necessary, and walk-ins are welcome even on Saturdays. Give him a call, 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. And online, AppletonChiro.com. Go see Dr. Appleton and say bye-bye to your pain. We'll be right back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve
CutMyKilowatts.com.
This is Scott from CutMyKilowatts.com. I'm back. Dog days of summer are upon us. Your AC is struggling. Running
Okay.
trying to hold the temperature. Maybe even failing late afternoon. Your electric bill has gone up, even double. Radiant barrier is the cure.
I've got so many things to touch on.
Up to 40 degrees. Cutting the FPL bills up to 40%. Dog days of summer sales. Save 50% on radiant barrier and insulation. Insulation removal, rat proofing.
I'm not sure which one to go to next.
In the heat of the summer, act now and get $500 off radiant barrier over 2,000 square feet and $1,000 off over 4,000 square feet, plus a 30% federal tax credit. So call now 954-939-1500 to save big. Call 954-939-1500 and talk to Bill or Scott. That's 954-939-1500 or CutMyKilowatts.com. Estimates given on the phone, work done in days, not weeks. Easier than ordering a pizza.
Did you know the
Back again to wage a public war of words against Tim Walz.
He abandoned us. I mean, what the hell kind of leader does that? I mean, he just, as soon as the shots were fired in Iraq, he turned and ran the other way and hung his hat up and quit.
We'll get to Barron's new message for voters in a moment. But this all starts years earlier when Barron says Walz's misleading statements about his military service first led him to come forward in the fall of 2018.
So you try to get this message out, Minnesota's largest newspaper checks it out, says it's 100% true, but yet refuses to print.
And when I hung the phone up, I said, what the hell is this North Korea?
All right, hold on.
Justice Warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on the air.
All right, we are back. I'm Brian. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. Okay, so, I mean, I can think of no other reasons to pick this lunatic Walz is either they're trying to end Kamala's run and destroy her for Biden's return at the convention, which is what Trump was talking about yesterday, right? I mean, you know, you saw what happened yesterday. Within 90 minutes, even less, I mean, within 90 seconds, there were already things dropping about this guy Walz that are just incredible liberal stuff. But in less than 2 hours, the internet and the television news was filled with just endless things that show there's no credible chance that this ticket has a chance of winning anything. We're a couple weeks away from the Democrat convention. You know, by then, there's going to be Kamala Walz polls. And this, as an example, this stolen valor thing he did, which is pretty bad what he did, okay? J.D. Vance, he's a veteran. That's going to highlight it even more so. It would already be a non-starter. So when President Trump says that Biden is maybe making a move to make a surprise appearance at the Democrat convention and make a run for the nomination, that's not so far-fetched when you see this. Okay? You know, these national polls where things are tighter, Trump's ahead in the battlegrounds, it's hopeless. Okay? But what are those national polls even going to look like in 2 weeks with this lunatic and everything that's coming out about him? You know, the Democrats, they get their news from MSNBC, don't know much of anything. I mean, they were calling him on MSNBC yesterday a moderate, and they were praising his military service. So, you know, so there's a major cover-up going over. They're trying to keep the truth from their people, but they're not going to be able to keep it for long. And when the first national polls come out, the battlegrounds, Trump's going to gain it. There's no question. Trump's going to gain in the battlegrounds. He's solidly ahead in all the battlegrounds, all 7 of them. But in the national polls, he's going to gain too. And any of the honeymoon period that you've heard people talk about with Kamala Harris over the last couple weeks is over for sure now. I mean, it's hopeless for her. I mean, this guy is, I mean, certifiably. So this is an interview with the leader of the National Guard. And then, well, let me pull up this article first, because this just blew my mind that this came out so quickly. I couldn't believe when this came out yesterday. This came out a little after 6 o'clock last night. And I was like, wow, that was quick. Now, Walz, the stolen valor involves 2 things in particular. He lied about his rank, okay, when he went to Congress, which is bad, but he was in the National Guard. But what he did, he was in the National Guard, and then when the orders came down for his unit to be deployed to Iraq, he said, I'm running for Congress, I can't be deployed. So he was comfortable being in the National Guard when he could use it to elevate himself in political circles, but he didn't want to go to combat. And a little after 6, this story dropped on the New York Post. I was like, how did this happen so fast? In fact, this story happened so fast, and this interview happened so fast. This is like too fast for the Republicans. This is almost like the Democrats are working against Walz. Here's the headline. Tim Walz is a coward and a traitor for retiring from the military before being deployed to Iraq, says the National Guardsman who replaced him. So this isn't just a generic story that he did it, which was the first thing that came out. They've already got the guy who went to Iraq in his place out there trashing him. I have never seen something like that come out so quick. Something like this I would expect to come out 1 week or 2 weeks later, not the day of. It came out before the end of the day. When Minnesota Governor Tim Walz chose to leave the military on this is in the New York Post, on the eve of his deployment to Iraq, Thomas Behrens went in his place. He said, I needed to hit the ground running and take care of the troops and tell them we're going to war, says Thomas, of the 500 soldiers under his command. For a guy in that position to quit is cowardice. So this is amazing. He was a command sergeant major, which is a big deal. It's the highest enlisted rank. So he had 500 men, and right on the deployment, he just drops out. Thomas is a 63-year-old farmer in Minnesota. He called the Democratic vice presidential candidate a traitor for retiring from their Minnesota National Guard unit just before their deployment to Iraq in 2005. When your country calls, you are supposed to run into battle, not the other way, the retired command sergeant major told the New York Post yesterday. Walz ran away. It's sad. He had the opportunity to serve his country, and he said, screw you to the United States. That's not who I would pick to run as vice president. Walz, who's now 60, which is the same age as Kamala, joined the National Guard after high school. He served 24 years, rising to the rank of command sergeant major. But he was demoted when he left because the promotion to command sergeant major was conditional on completing some things, which, because he retired, he didn't. So when he left, he got demoted one rank. He retired in 2005. months after a order that his battalion would be deployed to Iraq to run for Congress. He was first elected in 06. In May 05, Walz quit, betraying his country, says the man who took his place. I mean, my goodness. When have you seen the Republican Party move this quick with Oppo research? I've never seen it. In fact, it's so quick, it's so detailed, it exposes the guy so much. I don't think this came from the Republicans. I think the Democrats are exposing Walz. I know that sounds crazy, but I believe it. Because if the Republicans, if the Trump camp were the ones that had this information first with the interview with the guy and everything, I think they would have held on to it a little bit. This is October surprise kind of stuff. You know, the SWIFT veterans that brought down John Kerry with my help that everybody and their brother want to take credit for. But those who know, I'm not going to get into that now. But that didn't come out right away. It came out well into the campaign, and then there was a slow drip over a period of weeks before the full thing came out. And if you remember with the SWIFT boats, okay, it came out one guy, then a second guy, then a third guy, and then we had the doctor that signed off on the fake Purple Hearts that carry, you know. Remember all that? It came out, and then there was a slow drip, drip, drip. Because what John Kerry did in so many ways is stolen valor. Okay, even though he was in Vietnam for 3 months. But the whole experience was insane. And the reason it was on a slow drip is it was timed that way to have maximum impact against John Kerry. If they would have released everything at once, everyone would have heard it, everything would have gone out there, but some of it would have been. So to have it, the stolen valor came out early yesterday, and we got the story, and that's great, and everybody knew it, and people were talking about it, and it was trending and all this stuff. But the interview with the guy, that's not the first beat. You get the way you would do it, if the Republicans are the ones that had this, okay, the way you would do it would be, first, you have the story, the stolen valor, you have the details, no interviews, but you have the story. It's out there, people start reporting on it and talking about it. Then Walz gets asked about it. He comments on it. He does more damage. And then it's the third, fourth, maybe even the fifth beat when you come in with the guy that took his place in Iraq and could have been killed in his place in Iraq. Remember Hare? That was a whole part of Hare. You know, the draft dodgers, one of the controversies with the draft dodgers getting pardoned by President Carter is a lot of those draft dodgers, because they didn't go, people died in their place oftentimes. People got sent to Vietnam in their place. Some of them didn't make it. They would have survived if it weren't for those draft dodgers. That's the situation you have here. So the fact that everything was dropped on one day on the stolen valor with this interview tells me that the Democrats are working against Kamala. And if you remember, I had a story yesterday that Kamala, and this was reported first by Steve Ducey on Fox, okay? That's where I first heard it. That Kamala Harris was dismissed, that was the word used, dismissed from the Situation Room the day before yesterday. So there's a lot of friction going on between Kamala and the Biden camp right now. And then you put into the mix what President Trump dropped several times yesterday, that Biden may make a surprise appearance and go for the nomination at the convention in a couple weeks. You put all this together, it makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? All right, we're going to take our break for the top of the hour. I'm Brian. You're listening to Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. Our number toll-free, 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call no matter where you are listening to us. And remember, the free shipping offer is back at mypillow.com site-wide with our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane, on orders over $75. And the $25 extravaganza is going on. So you get 3 of the items, boom, you got free shipping with our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane at mypillow.com. So the free shipping has returned, but on orders over $75 and for a limited time with our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. So take advantage of it and start doing your Christmas shopping right here in August. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. Call us on hold. Stand by. Back after this. All right. I'm not sure if this interview was with the same guy.
Back again to wage a public war of words against Tim Walz.
He abandoned us. I mean, what the hell kind of leader does that? I mean, he just, as soon as the shots were fired in Iraq.
Yes, that's him.
From the all-year cooling weather center.
That's the guy that was written about in the post.
Here's your oldies forecast.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Michael Marone from the all-year cooling weather
All right. If you're on hold, stand by. And everyone who's new, please subscribe. And everyone who's already subbed, please like the video. Guys, when you like the video, that helps so much spread the word about the channel.
There are a few chances of some scattered showers as we go into the later hours of the day, so keep an umbrella close by, stay cool, stay hydrated, and enjoy your rest of your Wednesday morning.
Weather brought to you by All Year Cooling. Enjoy free AC replacement estimates along with same-day service and installation. Visit allyearcooling.com to schedule your service today. And remember, the All Year family is here to serve your family all year long. And now, a True Oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
Heads up in Boca, right shoulder's blocked with a crash 95 south at Congress Avenue. In West Palm, a crash Belvedere Road at Haverhill Road. And construction with a road closure at Boynton Beach, Lawrence Road between Hypoluxa Road and Lantana Road. You can take Military Trail as your alternate. This traffic update is sponsored by Allstate. Some people just know the best rate for you is a rate based on you with Allstate, not one based on anyone else. So if you drive safely, you could save money. Good to know. Visit allstate.com or call for a quote today. That's traffic. I'm Dory Don.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. Come out to the poker room at PBKC, open daily for cash games, high hands, mega bad beat jackpot.
Matthew, welcome as a member to the channel. Welcome, welcome.
Multi-flight tournament, August 8th through 11th. Visit our newly expanded table game area with Ultimate Texas.
We'll be back shortly, guys. It's our top of the hour break.
Entertainment destination. Go to pbkennelclub.com.
Are you feeling safe and secure in your home? Unfortunately, millions of Americans are vulnerable to break-ins every year. But what if you can have peace of mind knowing that your home is protected 24/7? At Sloman's, we understand the importance of home security. That's why we're offering a free home security system with free professional installation. When you use our low-cost central station monitoring, our top-of-the-line systems are designed to detect intruders and alert authorities and give you real-time updates right to your smartphone. And with our state-of-the-art monitoring center, you'll have 24/7 protection from any threat. Don't wait until it's too late. Protect your home and family and your valuables with Sloman's comprehensive home security solutions. Call 1-833-283-5050 today to schedule your free installation and start sleeping better tonight. Sloman's, protecting what matters most.
All right, we'll be back after this next commercial.
That's 833-283-5050 now. At Sloman's, we understand the importance of home security.
When you need lab work, don't waste hours and hours waiting at the doctor's office or one of those big labs. Go to any lab test now with Boca and any lab test now with Coral Springs. Their prices are guaranteed to be the lowest you'll find anywhere. No appointment, doctor's order, or prescription is needed, and you're in and out in 15 minutes or less. They offer every lab and blood work your doctor can order. They even have drug testing and STD testing. Take control of your health care and visit any lab test now with Boca at any lab test now with Coral Springs. There's lots of any lab test nows around, but these are the only two advertising on our radio station. So don't use the rest. Only go to any lab test now with Boca and any lab test now with Coral Springs. And make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, we are back 4 minutes after 7 o'clock. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977, talking about this craziness. If you missed the first hour, you missed a lot. I laid out a lot, and I think I made a pretty good case for what I was suggesting. I hope. I am going through these withdrawals from them, changing medications and diet and such, so if I'm incoherent, I'll blame the withdrawals. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Oh, hey, Doug, what's up?
Okay, it's before President Trump said anything, I was thinking that when they picked this meatball Tim Walz, I figured that when Biden comes out on the stage, I figured he certainly has to be at the convention. Everybody's probably going to start chanting, "We want Biden, we want Biden." And I think that so I totally agree with President Trump. I think that Biden is going to say, "Okay, I'll take the nomination back," because who could possibly want these two? This is ridiculous.
Well, this like I said, if this were 2020 and you've got these radical BLMers at the top and bottom of the ticket, it still would be a hopeless thing, but it wouldn't be as hopeless. All right, I mean, I haven't heard a single person that's got any credibility that said anything other than this is a joke.
Oh no, the liberals I've been talking to, they think this is a great pick. And
Why do they think it's great?
Because they think this guy Tim Walz is fantastic, and they just love these people.
Yeah, did they know who he was before yesterday? I mean, give me a break. That's crazy.
And plus, they think that J.D. Vance is a terrible candidate, and we have no chance since we picked him. So it depends on what side you're on, I guess, but.
No, if there were people out there that, like you're talking about, they just don't know. I mean, like this guy, he said he was going to give ladders to the illegals to climb over the wall. I mean, he's not just a liberal Democrat. He's, yes, completely nuts.
And what you said before, blue state. How bad does the country have to get before the people in the state say, enough is enough. We're not blue anymore. But boy, it seems like these people.
And it cannot. The choice of him over the others is not over anything that was revealed in a vetting process, because this guy Walz does not have a single redeeming quality as a running mate. There's nothing about him that's not negative.
Yeah, but yet he became a governor, man. How can anybody vote for that guy? This country is in big trouble when you have people that were willing to vote for a guy like Walz. I mean, come on. A guy has a terrible record. Does his service when they want him, and they still vote for him.
Yeah.
What's going on in this country? It's sad.
Yeah, it is. All right. I appreciate the call, Doug. Good to hear from you. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. Okay, they had... In fact, not only did Walz talk about ladders, listen to this. He said that he would invest in a ladder factory to give ladders to the illegals to climb the wall. There's a lot of liberal Democrats that say nutty things, okay? Driver's license for illegals, we shouldn't build a wall, all the, climate change is forcing them to come here. This guy is that times infinity. In fact, I was thinking, out of all of the leftists that I have followed that are at this level, all right, at this level, I'm not talking about some activist somewhere, but that hold office, governor's a big deal. I don't think there's ever been a single person as radically liberal at this level as Walz. And I don't even think that's up for debate. Bernie Sanders, very radically liberal on a few things, on most things he talks about. But what Walz does, unlike these, squad members, people in Congress, both houses, they don't have a lot of power to actually do things. They just talk, right? They talk about things. Now, if a bill comes up, they may vote for it, they may vote against it. But Walz has taken actions, right, as governor. He's actually taken actions beyond just talking about these radically liberal ideas. Now, with that being said, another assassination plot against President Trump, and this one, the Pakistani, a federal complaint unsealed yesterday in Brooklyn has charged Asif Merchant, also known as Asif Raza Merchant, a 46-year-old Pakistani, with a murder-for-hire plot in connection with a foiled assassination plot targeting President Trump. The plot was stopped by law enforcement before any attack could be executed, thankfully. He's in federal custody in New York. They're trying to put Trump in jail in New York, too. I wouldn't be surprised if they made them cellies. FBI investigators believe that the intended targets included Trump and other U.S. government officials. According to court documents, Merchant orchestrated a plot. It goes into some details. They don't like to say Trump because, they don't want Trump to be more sympathetic. So I'll skip through the charges. In early June, during a meeting, Merchant outlined his assassination plot and indicated that the opportunity would not be a one-time event. He made a gesture resembling a gun with his hand while discussing the killing and specified that the targets would be here, referring to the United States. His plan included various criminal activities, stealing documents from a target's residence, organizing protest, and ultimately assassinating political figures and government officials. And Trump was there. He arranged to pay $5,000 to somebody. They got the money. They got the guy. Why this guy was going to attempt to assassinate Trump, we don't really know in the documents, but I think we can conclude it has something to do with his strong support of Israel. I mean, even Van Jones yesterday, Van Jones, out of all of the Democrat liberal analysis you get in the news, Van Jones, more often than you realize, it has these moments of honesty. And he was talking yesterday about the anti-Semitism in the Democrat Party involving this choice of Walz, why they didn't pick the governor of Pennsylvania because he's Jewish. And I was listening when this news first broke yesterday. I turned on Fox and someone said, "Oh, they didn't pick him because of the Hamas wing of the Democrats." And then one of the pundits says, "Well, her husband's Jewish, so that's not the problem." It's one thing for her husband to be Jewish, but to have two Jews around her, that would be too much for her constituents. Okay? They couldn't have that. One too many. They can get away with the husband, but not a second one. So there's certainly, something to be concerned about inside the Democrat Party. The Democrat Party, we really need them to do a cleansing. And a lot of people will say, why do we want the Democrat Party to cleanse themselves of these anti-Semitic terrorist Hamas supporters? And all you got to do is look at what's going on in England. England has fallen, and it will never recover. They're lost in England, okay? They have been taken over by radical, globalist, and Islamist, and there's no going back. They're done. It's a tiny little country. It's like Florida, and it's done. It's over. Okay? And here we are, approaching the 23rd year since 9/11, and the Democrat Party are making decision after decision based on what their Muslim constituents in this country think. And, prior to 9/11, the Islamic community and terrorist supporters in this country, they were always there in the background, but they were considered fringe lunatics. They had no influence over politics to speak of, and they certainly weren't the constituency of a political party that has power. And here we are in this post-9/11 era, and the Democrat Party is constantly making decisions based on what their Muslim terrorist supporting wing and constituents in their party will think, react, and how it'll make them vote. And that's pretty scary. If it's not stopped and they don't cleanse themselves of it, what's going to happen in another 10 years? The Democrat Party is becoming an Islamic party in this country. And if you haven't noticed, any time that those people get out and protest, they're protesting to do one thing, right? Well, two things: destroy Israel, then the United States. That's it. They want Israel gone first and then us. And I don't know how aware the Democrat Party is or not, but it was nice to see Van Jones talk about this anti-Semitism in their party that made a play in this decision. and they got to do something about it. I was shocked to hear him say that. He's probably the most high-profile Democrat I've seen address it. It is a big problem. All right. If you're on hold, stand by. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. I'm Brian Craig. We'll be right back with your calls.
Sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, we'll be back shortly. Welcome, everyone. We'll be back shortly. Make sure to like the video, everyone. Here we go.
That's 754-222-6642. Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at TrueOldiesFLA.com.
All right, 19 minutes after the hour, I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. Our number 1-888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, good morning. This is Chris from Boca.
Hey, Chris.
Hi, good morning. Your program is great. Listen, there's one thing I want to tell everybody. Have you heard of the Trump train?
Yes, the Trump train. I've been on it for several years, yes.
Oh, yeah, I got myself a set of that, 2 sets, in fact.
Oh, you mean you have a physical train set at home?
Oh, sure.
Oh, cool. All right.
You get it through the, go on the computer, it's the Bradford, BRADFORD Exchange.
Okay.
It helps Trump. It helps Trump.
Okay.
I also like to say let's say, if I may, let's not assume that Trump is in. Let's assume that he's losing. Everybody must get out and vote early, and let's get.
Well, no, listen. We've got to have a massive turnout. No one's suggesting anything different, but we're not, But this team of Kamala Harris, bless you, this team of Kamala Harris and Walz, we got to talk about. I mean, this is a joke. We can't sit around and act like this is a credible challenge to Trump and J.D. Vance.
Yep, absolutely. Listen, I appreciate that. I appreciate what you're doing. Appreciate your knowledge, and you're doing.
All right, I appreciate the call. And, he's that thing about the Branford exchange. I'll tell you the thing about the Branford exchange. I've been getting these. My wife has bought a couple things from the Branford exchange, and I have been getting the fake calls. Remember they used to call you to try to steal your money. Your kids have been arrested, and they need bail money. The one before that, they were the IRS. You were going to be arrested. There's been some others. The latest is the Branford exchange. Okay, they say they're from the Branford exchange, and then they tell you they want they need $3,500 today. Of course, right now. And so I'd be careful of that. All right. So getting back to just to do a little bit of recapping. Okay. What President Trump, after there was a phase to this, when this Walz announcement first came out yesterday, President Trump posted on Truth Social 2 words: "Thank you." Right? You saw that, "Thank you," which was it's crazy. It's crazy. It's pretty funny. It's pretty funny. But then a little bit later in the day, he started talking in a little different way. He started talking about how Biden may make an appearance at the convention and go back and try to get the nomination back. That he regrets it, and he may make a play to get the nomination back at the convention. And if I heard that from anyone else, I wouldn't even talk about it. But President Trump was talking about it, and it was all over the place yesterday because President Trump said it. And one thing I know, when President Trump says something, no matter how outlandish it may seem on the face of it, there's always truth to it. And you put that together with the story I had yesterday that Kamala Harris was dismissed from the Situation Room. I mean, she was told to leave. Right? And this was reported by Ducey on Fox News. In fact, Ducey said it, and then he said he could see Kamala's motorcade leaving the White House grounds, driving away. It was live. Then the story got disappeared. No one talked about it, but I talked about it yesterday on the program. There's conflict between Biden and Kamala Harris. What could that conflict be over? We have not seen. Yeah, obviously we had problems with Pence, and that was a different thing. But when the election was over at that point, in an election, we're 90 days. Are we 90 days or 89 days away at this point? I think we might. It's either 90 or 89 days away as of now. Okay. We've never seen a conflict 90 days away from an election so open between a president and their vice president before the election, right? She was involved in this coup to get him to drop out of the race. She nominates this insanely liberal guy that is, to call him liberal is really a disservice. I mean, he's just a radical lunatic extremist. There is not a radical liberal position that he does not support. He is more radical than the Squad, and that is saying a lot. More radical than the Squad. And that's really hard to do. Okay? So we get this, then we get Trump saying that Biden may be going for the nomination, which is just a couple weeks away at the convention. There's something going on here. And that doesn't mean that Biden's going to get the nomination. But he has regret and he wants it back. That causes friction inside their movement. There's already friction in that Obama didn't want Biden to endorse Kamala, and he did. And the story of her being thrown out of the Situation Room the day before yesterday backs up that there's a lot of conflict between the two of them. Probably has something to do with her threatening to invoke the 25th Amendment through Obama, would be my guess. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning. Good morning.
Hey, Richie. Oh, yeah, it's a great morning. This is awesome.
You missed. I believe you missed one little detail. What you said about Kamala just now. Do you realize they took total advantage of a man when they went in there without Jill? Jill was in France, man. When this came down, she wasn't there.
Well, it could have been. It was a phone call. She could have been conferenced in on the phone call, but they may have done it without her.
Yeah, she was the biggest resistance to all of this, and her son.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but you don't hear anything. You don't hear anything. Stephanopoulos, none of them mention Biden at all. Biden, they don't say, well, is Biden going to be at the convention? Nothing. Silence.
Well, except from Trump.
Right. And this crap that they put up there, they lied for. They completely lied last night. Again, he's a bigger liar than she is. He lied about his military record, and that's what really got me ticked off.
Well, not only did he lie about the military record, they got the guy already doing interviews who took his place in Iraq. But getting back to Jill for a second, Jill, when I saw her at the Olympics and she looked out of it, she was so upset. Okay, people aren't talking about them anymore. She's not on the cover of magazines anymore. People aren't going. They view themselves as being betrayed by some of their closest friends that they've had for 50 years. And Jill Biden could very easily want to make a play at the convention. If Trump did not say it yesterday, I wouldn't think it was credible. But the fact that Trump said it yesterday tells me there's something to it.
Yeah, to me, conference call. I don't buy that. I believe that she was in France, and they said, "This is our chance."
Yeah.
To bully the.
Probably.
Threaten her. Because the time they tried to bully him before, supposedly, like you reported this, they threw him out.
Correct.
So there was nobody to throw him out this time.
And it is true that they kicked Kamala out of that situation briefing day before yesterday. That is true. It was on Fox.
Yeah, we have some situation in this country now that we have a party. Even Alan Dershowitz has walked away from the Democratic Party, which is unbelievable.
So what do you think was behind this pick of Walz?
I believe it's the completion of a takeover of the United States by militant communists and Muslims. And you could call me whatever you want to call me about Muslims. You'd have to take a look at the Olympics. Folks out there, take a look. I don't watch the Olympics. Watch the volleyball team of the Olympics and look at Egypt. Look at the girl in Egypt playing in the heat.
Yeah.
And the other one's in a bikini or whatever.
Yeah. I know, they're wearing full burqas. You don't even know who's under there.
Women, you want that to happen to you? Do you want...
No, I don't know about that. This is the thing. This candidacy is not a credible candidacy. This candidacy is like a third-party candidacy from some party like that's hopeless, right? That you've never even heard of before. The candidacy is a joke. If it's not a candidacy, a pairing that has any hope of winning anything, and everybody knows it. So
they're catering. Listen, they're catering to the Sharia, man. I mean, this guy changed the flag of his. He changed his state flag to look like Somalia. How much can we get? This is
and was that before or after he put tampons in the boys' room?
Yeah, can you imagine this? Can you imagine? And this is what Stephanopoulos is calling mainstream middle America. Just Stephanopoulos should be thrown off the air.
Yeah, Stephanopoulos, and he wasn't the only one. On MSNBC, they were talking about how many people in the Midwest will relate to Walz. Are you kidding me?
He's folksy. Come on, give me a break, man. Better than this.
Yeah, I know. All right, listen, I got to run, Richie. Appreciate the call. If you're on hold, stand by. We'll take our bottom of the hour break and be right back.
Making morning radio great again. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right. Are you there, Steve?
Yes, I am.
All right, hold on.
From
scattered showers as we go into the later hours of the day, so keep your umbrella close by, stay cool, stay hydrated, and enjoy your rest of your Wednesday morning.
Weather brought to you by All Year Cooling. Enjoy free AC replacement estimates along with same-day service and installation. Visit allyearcooling.com to schedule your service today. And remember, the All Year family is here to serve your family all year long. And now, a True Oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
Heads up in Boca, a crash has a right shoulder block to 95 South at Congress Avenue. In West Palm, a crash Belvedere Road and Haverhill Road. This traffic update is sponsored by KFC. The new taste of KFC deals are meals starting at just $4.99. Grab a hot, juicy drum and thigh, a buttery biscuit, and free. Only at KFC. It's favorably good. Prices and participation vary. Tax, tips, and fees extra.
I'm going to have the travel agent call in at 8:15. So is that a long break? Can we take a look at it real quick? Let me see if there's something we could move to shorten it.
This is the 8 o'clock break. There's nothing
Yeah. That's 8. That's the first. That's the top of the hour. What about the 8:15?
This is the top.
Oh, I see.
This is the 8:15.
That's short. That's fine.
Like 2 minutes.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, like probably like less. It's like 8:03 to like 8:05.
Yeah.
Alright, awesome.
Much anticipated Skillet's restaurants are now open here in Palm Beach County. Serving the hottest breakfast in town at any of their 3 locations: Boca Raton, Delray, and Wellington. Daily baked scones, signature custom skillets, made from scratch, giant pancakes and waffles. I could go on and on. Skillets even offers a summer budget menu, and kids eat free on Tuesdays. You can't beat this breakfast. Skillets is proof. You don't need to be at home for a made-from-scratch meal and to be treated like family. Skillet's guests rave as Palm Beach's friendliest staff and best breakfast. Come find out for yourself. Get more information on your local Skillets at skilletsrestaurants.com.
Brian Craig here. If you're a homeowner, business owner, or with a homeowners association and your roof is old or compromised, you need to call Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting. With a AAA credit rating and bonded up to $10 million, Laporta Contracting doesn't need a large deposit like those other contractors do. Typical deposits other contractors want are 1/3 of the contract. If your job is $30,000, that's a $10,000 deposit. If your job is $300,000, that's $100,000. What are they doing with your money? Typically, it takes 3 to 4 weeks to get a permit. In HOAs, much longer. If they need money for the materials, they don't have credit with the suppliers, and that spells bad news for the homeowner or HOA. Tom Laporta is honest, knowledgeable, and reliable, and he'll never sell you a roof you don't need. Laporta Contracting has been in the roofing and contracting business since 1788, and his services cover the east and west coast of Florida and everywhere in between. Tom Laporta can handle any type
We'll be back shortly.
residential roofing and repair, commercial roofs, schools, municipal buildings, office buildings, emergency repairs. If it's roofing, Tom Laporta can do it. Call Tom Laporta right now on his cell phone, 954-604-4602, 954-604-4602, and online, laportacontracting.com.
Hi, it's Katie with Will For You. Now is the time to live beautiful and see beautifully with Kerosene Flooring from Will For You. Kerosene offers the freshest and most realistic looks in waterproof wood and luxury vinyl, featuring realistic wood looks identical to the real wood. For softness under your foot, plus its textures are so easy. Best selection and by far the best price. Let's freshen up that house after that busy summer chaos. So come visit Will For You at any of our 3 locations, and we'll walk you through the selection process for the perfect kerosene flooring tailored just for you. Top that off with our experienced installation team for the perfect result, and you're on your way to a home environment you've dreamed of for far less than you imagine. From one neighbor to another, Will For You and Kerosene, the perfect combination for your home flooring project. Visit us in Stewart on US 1 just south of Walmart, in Jupiter on alternate A1A and Indiantown Road, and Will Floor, the letter U, FLA.com. Will For You, family owned and operated for over 40 years.
Hey everyone, Brian Craig here. You asked Mike Lindell and he listened. Mike's offering the queen size My Pillow for just $19.98 with our promo code K-A-N-E at checkout at mypillow.com. Plus, you can get the 6-piece My Pillow towel set for just $25. The bed sheets, they're $25 too. The new My Pillow mattress topper as low as $69.98. Go to mypillow.com
our promo code Kane for these huge discounts. You can also order by phone. 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code Kane. Kane at Pillow.com.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig, celebrating 47 years on the air.
All right, we are back. Callers on hold, standby. I'm Brian, Steve Kane joining us. Oh, boy, great day today, Steve.
Good morning. I'm totally confused.
You're... What? What are you confused about? This is a beautiful day.
Everything you just ran by me, I'm a little confused.
Oh, okay, well...
Listen, I mean, what I am picking up, I'll just tell you what I'm seeing, and you can correct my vision. It sounds like there's a coup going on.
There's a coup of the coup.
Yes.
There's a coup of the coup. President Trump said yesterday afternoon that Joe Biden regrets dropping out and is looking to make a play for the nomination at the convention and take it back from Kamala.
And that was the last and only thing that Trump has said.
Well, first he said thank you to Kamala Harris for picking this nut job, but then later in the day he said that. Yeah.
Boy, that's too much to hope for.
Could you imagine? Well, let's take some of the calls. We'll sort it out during the next 90 minutes, a little less than that, because. Well, you know, in the first hour, I spent an hour. There's a very complex bunch of stuff going on here. In the first hour of the program, I went through it all, which I'm not going to do now. I may recap some of it later, but let's take some of the calls first at 1-888-465-2631. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, it's Renee from Harlem.
Hey, Renee.
What's up, Renee?
It's funny you guys haven't mentioned a word about the way Trump played himself when he went to the NABJ conference and started calling Pamela a Mexican.
That's like a week ago. We talked about that last week. That's old news. We're talking about the new news. By the way, he didn't say Mexican. You know, this is an interesting thing with Renee. You know, Steve, don't go anywhere, Renee. I'm going to talk to Steve about you, okay? You weren't here yesterday, Steve, and Renee is having a meltdown. He's having a psychological break because the first minority female nominee's campaign is going down the tubes. Yesterday, we're going through all this stuff about Kamala. You called in and said that or maybe it was the day before yesterday, that the guitar was invented in Africa. It had nothing to do. Now you're talking about the banjo. Oh, okay, the banjo. Okay, and now today you're talking about news that's like a week and a half old as opposed to what's going on now. You're really having a break from reality.
No relevance at all.
Then why do you listen and call and participate?
You're just totally. You say anything to promote your racist, white supremacist art. It's not going to work.
Okay, all right. Thank you for your call. Oh, Steve, I wanted to play this clip of you of Walz's wife. Okay, I played this in the first hour. This is great. Hold on, this is great. Now, you know, under his time in Minnesota, remember Black Lives Matter and Antifa burned down Minneapolis, Minnesota? Now, if you in Cooper City, if Antifa and BLM started burning down Cooper City, where you live, what would you do, Steve?
What would I do?
Yeah.
Never thought of it.
Well, I know that if BLM and Antifa started burning down my town, I would do.
Will not cross the front doorstep.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, if that were happening in my city, okay, the mean streets of Boca. If BLM and Antifa started burning down Boca, what I would do is I would put my hurricane shutters up. You know, I have hurricane windows, but I'd put my hurricane shutters up, and probably leave town. If I stayed in town, if I didn't have a chance to get away, I would put the hurricane shutters up, and my wife and I, we'd get out the guns and the ammo, and I'd give her a gun, I'd have a gun, and then we would have, other guns in reserve, and well, that's not what Walz and his wife did, okay? So this is an interview she did on television. Now remember, their city was being burned down. The BLM Antifa riots were happening. This is Walz's wife talking about what she did during the BLM Antifa riots.
I would say those first days, when there were riots, I could smell the burning tires. And that was a very real thing. And I kept the windows open for as long as I could because I felt like that was such a touchstone of what was happening.
Okay. So the entire city was burning down. She kept the windows open so she could smell the flames of the burning tires so that she could experience and be a part of this important movement. These people are certifiably insane. This is as crazed liberal as I've ever heard. And there's two of them, the husband and the wife. And there's that old phrase, it's kind of gone out of fashion, but the holes in his head fit the rocks in hers or something. Is that how it goes?
The rocks in his head fit the holes in hers.
Correct. The rocks in his head fit the holes in hers. Or you can use it either way, right? You could use it. It could go either way. You could switch the genders on that one. But that's exactly right. These two, this is an insane candidacy. Let's take some more calls, and I'll fill you in a little bit more as we go. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Steve and Brian. Jeff from Maine.
Hey, Jeff.
Jeffrey, how are you this morning?
I'm doing good, Brother Steve. Listen, I have a unique take on the vice president pick of the Dems. Why would the Dems choose a vice president from a blue state? Why wouldn't they use a battleground state to try to win the electoral votes? And I'm telling you, there's something behind that. Why would they choose Minnesota? That's ridiculous. They're supposed to win that handily. I don't think they can win Minnesota, Brian.
I'll tell you, there's a number of reasons that we can only speculate, okay? And remember, we're trying to speculate on a decision that they say was made by Kamala Harris. So we're trying to make sense of something that was done by a very stupid person. This would be my guess, okay? There were two picks, right? The governor of Pennsylvania and the senator from Arizona, right, Kelly? And Arizona and Pennsylvania are swing states. I've been telling you guys for weeks that Trump is ahead solidly in all of the battleground states. The latest Real Clear Politics average that I shared yesterday, you weren't here, Steve, yesterday, Real Clear Politics said that the battleground states, none of them are in play any longer. They're firmly Trump now. So I think this signal's kind of given up. I think the Democrats have given up and expect Trump to win the presidency.
And that was my next statement. They expect to lose the presidency.
Correct.
There's another thing going on. The Dems are not unified with Harris.
Correct.
They have a power struggle going on in their party on who's going to take over and control the future.
Well, and then see this thing about this story I had yesterday that I got from Ducey on Fox. Kamala Harris was dismissed. What Ducey said was Kamala Harris was dismissed from a White House Situation Room briefing day before yesterday. She was made to leave, and Ducey saw her speeding away in her motorcade after. So there's a lot of friction between Kamala and Biden right now. And then you factor, I love it. And then you factor in what the greatest president ever, Donald Trump, said yesterday, that Biden may show up at the convention and try to get the nomination back from her. That would cause friction. Well, that's why she got kicked out of the meeting in the Situation Room. There's friction between the Bidens and Kamala. So this is I think there's total chaos in the Democrat Party at a level that I don't even think people realize. It's so bad.
And I believe that I've been saying that for a while, Brian. And there's one more thing I want to report. It was on RAD, and they were saying that this Democrat was saying that even if Trump wins, they're not going to allow the inauguration.
Jamie Raskin said that they're going to make a motion for this to not certify the election. There's a problem with that. We have the majority now. We'll have a bigger majority then. And in the past, Democrats have done that in the past. In 2000, when Bush won, GW, a whole bunch of Democrats introduced that motion, but they were the minority. So yes, they will do that, but it's not going to go anywhere. We have the majority now. We'll have a bigger majority after the election.
But another point I want to make on that is what they actually accused Trump of insurrection.
That's right.
No, he didn't. They're going to say they're going to do.
Yeah.
Sir, how crazy.
Let's try to get past this one point, and let me ask you, at what point do you think everything that we are speculating about this morning becomes public?
I think everything's public. I think everything's public that we're talking about. It's just more and more people are learning about it as time goes on because there's a little over. Hey, Jeff, we got to run for the break, but great points, great call. Now, if you or someone you know suffer from neuropathy, I don't have to tell you how bad it is. It's living torture. And, Lighthouse Medical in Pompano has a treatment for neuropathy that works. And what had happened a couple of cruises ago, you had the neuropathy, you had the worst case neuropathy you could have, Steve. You were bedridden. I mean, you couldn't get out. Yeah, and we had the cruise coming up. And this was 2 or 3 cruises ago. I've lost track now. Our 6th one's coming up in March. But we had the cruise a few months away, and you were telling me, I don't know if I can go. Because, it wasn't just the pain, but the dizziness that you had from the neuropathy. Yeah.
Issues.
Yeah, and going out on the 7 Seas when you can't stand up and you're dizzy and everything, it's not, So I found Lighthouse Medical, and you went over there, and you were skeptical because you said, my doctor said there's no treatment. He sent me to the neurologist specialist. He said there's no treatment. You didn't even want to, and you went to Lighthouse Medical. I remember you went on a Friday. And you went in the morning, so you weren't on the air, and I didn't hear from you all day. And I was like, what's going on? What's going on? What happened? You went. So I called you Saturday morning, and you told me the next day you were feeling better, which was absolutely amazing. Lighthouse Medical Center, their neuropathy treatment not only works, they can help you no matter where you're located in America as well. Give them a call. Make sure you mention you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show. Then you get to take advantage of the no-charge consultation. 754-222-6642. 754-222-6642. And online, lighthousemedicalcenter.com. We'll be right back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
Brian Craig here. I've suffered with massive pain in my knee for years, but not anymore. It's all gone, thanks to Dr. Appleton and his laser away pain system. I'm in studio right now with Dr. Appleton. Dr. Appleton, how'd you do it?
Well, I treated your knee pain with laser. Treatment is simple and...
Steve Kane Show.
I have robotic lasers that...
Hey, Scott, though. Okay, hold on.
Wonderful effect on joint pain. These are all...
Yeah. I did.
Bursitis from the foot all the way up to the neck.
Dr. Appleton is a chiropractic physician, and with the laser away pain system, there's no injections, no surgery, and no drugs. He's open 6 days a week, and same-day appointments are available. Call right now for your free consultation. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. Make sure to tell Dr. Appleton you heard about him on the radio.
This is Steve Kane. I want to tell you about my favorite restaurant in all of South Florida, Wings Plus in Coral Springs. Wings pizzas just the way you like them. Plump, tender, and delicious, crispy on the outside, succulent on the inside. Everything homemade, nothing comes out of a can. Dozens of specialty sauces that will make your mouth water. Wings Plus, located in Coral Springs, a mile west of University on the south side of Sample Road.
Remember the feeling you got the first time you saw the king of rock and roll? Elvis Presley! Relive the memories at Chris McDonald's Memories of Elvis in Concert. Sunday, August 18th at 4 p.m. at the Miniachi Performing Arts Center at NSU Davie. Chris McDonald, with his full production band and dancers, is the only tribute artist hired by Elvis Presley Enterprises to perform at Graceland's Heartbreak Hotel. Sunday, August 18th at 4 p.m. Call 954-462-0222 or go online at Miniachi Performing Arts Center. Thank you very much.
Just because you're getting older doesn't mean you have to feel older. This is Brian Craig, and I want to tell you about my anti-aging doctor, Dr. Mitch Matez at the Biostation West El Rey, and hormone replacement pellet therapy. Hormone replacement pellet therapy is all natural. What it does is restore your hormones to where they were when you were in your 20s. You'll feel younger, you'll have more energy, you'll get your sex drive back, and women, hormone replacement pellet therapy completely stops and reverses all the signs and symptoms of menopause. Mood swings gone. Night sweats, gone. I've met listeners before and after hormone replacement pellet therapy with Dr. Matez, and when I first meet him, they're like Joe Biden, and no one wants to be like him. And then I meet him again after they began hormone replacement pellet therapy, and they have their energy back, just like Trump. They're standing up tall, and they feel years younger. Now, it's always a free consultation with Dr. Matez when you tell him you heard about him on the radio. 561-320-8893. 561-320-8893.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on the air.
All right, we're back. I'm Brian Craig. Steve Kane is here. You know, yesterday, Steve, I had the weather on, and they had the temperature outside, and it didn't seem that bad. It said like 92, but then it said it feels like 103. I'm like, oh my goodness, it feels like 103. That's how hot it's been. On the line, a man who joins us each summer here on the Steve Kane Show from Cut My Kilowatts, Scott, who's going to tell you how he can cool off your entire home. Hey, Scott, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great this morning. I was just thinking about this heat out there and everybody suffering and their air running nonstop all day long. I mean, we work in this heat. A lot of other insulation companies won't come out and do your duct work or put up radiant barrier. So we got to wait till it's cool out. Well, people need help now. So we come early in the morning and we get the job done quick that same day. And we can put up an energy-saving radiant barrier, which actually reflects the heat back off the roof. The heat wave turns it back. It sends it right back out the roof. It's a game changer. It lowers the temperature in your attic 30 to 40 degrees. Drop the temperature in your garage without air conditioning in the whole house 10 to 15 degrees. So if your power goes out, you're not going to be comfortable, but you're not going to be miserable. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know what it's like? Radiant barrier, what it's like is putting a massive shade tree over your house.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
We also do duct work, complete duct systems. You know, so if you need any duct work repair done, we can do that at the same time. We also remove insulation from attics, and we blow it back in.
Yeah.
And most people don't need their insulation removed. Most of the time, we just come out and top it off. But you know, we can do the whole attic package, or we can just whatever you need.
Now, a lot of companies that do similar things to what you do, Scott, they jack up their prices during the summer because they feel people are desperate. You do the opposite. You actually offer Steve Kane listeners discounts. Can you tell people about that?
Yeah, I basically, you know, my radiant barrier is normally $1.39 a square foot installed, and then if you get 2,000 feet, I give you an additional $500 off, and then if you get 4,000 feet, I give you another $500 off.
It's amazing. So.
If you do the installation of the radiant barrier together, then I just knock the radiant barrier down to $1. You know, which saves even more money, and then I do the installation for $1 instead of $1. So, I mean, I can really save some money when you're doing the attic.
That's right. Now, Scott at Cut My Kilowatts, you know, what is your number so people can call or text you?
Yeah, 954-939-1500. That's 954-939-1500, or they can look me up on the web at cutmykilowatts.com.
All right, Scott from Cut My Kilowatts. We'll talk soon. Take care. All right. Okay. The phones are ringing off the hook, Steve, so let's take some of these. Yep, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Mike from Louisiana.
Hey, Mike.
You know this coup of the coup.
Yes.
This is
The coup. It's the coup. Yeah, the coup. Yes, the coup of the coup.
Yeah, I mean this is almost like watching Dallas back in the day. You know.
No, I don't know what that means. Is that a football reference?
You know
Dallas is a television show.
Oh, Dallas. Oh, okay. Okay.
Dallas, yeah.
I remember that. Yes.
That show, you know, and it's like we're watching the destruction of the Democrat Party, right?
And it's beautiful.
It is beautiful. And
What you're saying is fine. I mean, it's great to speculate, because I think this is a great format for speculation. But I think we should point out that's what we're doing. We don't know.
Christian, it's not Shot JR. No, Steve, no. This is educated speculation because of what President Trump said yesterday, and if Donald Trump did not suggest this yesterday, I wouldn't even be talking about it, because I would say that's crazy. But when President Trump says something, he's got sources and information. He doesn't just say stuff. Yeah. All right. I'll give you the last word, Mike. You don't usually call this late, so.
Right, and the thing with this is if Biden does come back and take back the nomination,
or try,
or try to, if he's successful in doing it, there's a possibility Mark Kelly will be the vice president.
No. There's not going to be a Democrat vice president. I think you mean the nominee, is what you meant to say. I appreciate the call. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian, this is George from Kentucky.
Hey, George.
Hey, what I think's going on is like you get two throwaways in there for president, vice president. Then after they failed or political career's over, you don't want to put anybody up there that you want to use later. And I think that's what they're doing. They absolutely know it's over for them. So, and now, like Pelosi hates Harris. You get rid of Harris, you don't have to deal with her anymore.
See, yeah, I've been talking about this for weeks. Someone like, Gretchen Whitmer and Gavin Newsom don't know that they're despised lunatics. They think they're accomplished, incredible statesmen. And if you think you're a credible person, you don't want to go into an election and lose it, right? Then you're a loser. They want to come back in 4 years and have a chance.
What you're saying is true. What we're going to get is, between now and the convention, is what?
Oh, a lot of fun. With this Walz pick yesterday, the immediate. By the way, thanks for the call. The immediate reports were, Steve, that Pelosi pushed for it, for him. So that and of course that's clearing the way for Gavin Newsom. This is a beautiful thing. After the top of the hour, I'll recap my little thing about Walz and what's going on here. Okay. And I know everyone's going to think I'm nuts, but, that's okay. That's cool. I don't mind. If you want to think I'm nuts, go ahead and think I'm nuts. Now, before we take our break for the top of the hour, this is crazy, Steve. I had a conversation with Mike Lindell's assistant the other day, and I asked her something, and she says, I'll look into it. She says, I'll talk to Mike. And then I went on the MyPillow.com website today, and it's there. I asked if they could bring the free shipping back. And this was Monday, and here it is: free shipping on all orders over $75 with our promo code Kane at checkout, KANE, site-wide on all MyPillow products. The $25 extravaganza continues on some of the top MyPillow products like the slippers, the sheets, the towels, and much more. So you get three things for $25 plus free shipping, because it's free shipping on all orders site-wide that are over $75 with our promo code Kane at checkout, KANE, at mypillow.com. The free shipping will return for a limited time, I promise you. This is not permanent, and I'm very glad they brought it back. Promo code Kane, K-A-N-E, at checkout at mypillow.com. We'll be back after this.
WSFS.
Okay.
Paid for by Vic Canales Media Group. Your home for the Steve Kane Show. From the all-year cooling weather center, South Florida's #1 choice for same-day AC service and installation. Here's your oldies forecast.
Okay, just getting everything ready for the next hour. Oh my goodness, that's so good.
Right now it is 78 degrees outside. As we go throughout the day, though, temperatures are going to reach as high as 93 degrees with a heat advisory.
This is funny stuff. This stuff with Walz is just beautiful. Just beautiful.
Some scattered showers as we go into the later hours of the day, so keep an umbrella close by, stay cool, stay hydrated, and enjoy your rest of your Wednesday morning.
Weather brought to you by All Year Cooling. Enjoy free AC replacement estimates along with same-day service and installation. Visit allyearcooling.com to schedule your service today. And remember, the All Year family is here to serve your family all year long. And now, a true oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
Heads up at Boca, right shoulder's blocked with a crash 95 south at Congress Avenue, a crash in West Palm, Belvedere Road, and Haverhill Road, construction in Lake Worth 6th Avenue south from Grove Street to Congress Avenue. This traffic update is sponsored by eBay Motors. eBay Motors is here for the ride with the parts you need at the prices you want. The eBay Guaranteed Fit. They're guaranteed to fit your ride the first time, every time, or your money back. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply. That's traffic. I'm Dory Don.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. Come out to the Poker Room at PBKC, open daily for cash games, high hands, mega bad beat jackpots, and exciting tournaments like the $100,000 guaranteed Monster Multi-Flight Tournament, August 8th through 11th. Visit our newly expanded table game area with Ultimate Texas Hold'em and 3-card poker for just a $5 minimum. PBKC is your entertainment destination. Go to pbkennelclub.com.
Brian Craig here. When it comes time to get my blood work done, I don't have time to spend hours in the doctor's office or waiting hours at one of those big labs. That's why I go to Any Lab Test Now of Boca and Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs for all of my lab work. Their techs are highly skilled and professional, and their prices are guaranteed to be the lowest on lab work you'll find anywhere. Appointments aren't necessary. Doctor's orders and prescriptions, they're not needed either. I'm in and out in 15 minutes or less. I get the results the next day in my email box, and they also send it to my doctor. There's lots of Any Lab Test Nows around, but these are the only two advertising on our radio station. So don't use the rest. Only go to Any Lab Test Now of Boca and Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. Any Lab Test Now of Boca is in the Sandalwood Plaza. That's where the Western Beef is, between Palmetto Park Road and Hillsborough Boulevard on the east side of State Road 7, 441. Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs is on the southeast corner of University and Bramblewood by the Coral Square Mall. Call Any Lab Test Now of Boca at 561-237-5009. Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs number is 954-906-5983. And don't forget to mention that you heard about them on the radio. Have you put off buying new tires because you thought they were too expensive? Find friendly prices at Friendly Tire and Margate on both new and used tires. New tires as low as $70 a tire. That's out the door and on the road, because Friendly Tire doesn't charge you to balance the tire or mount the tire. They have thousands of used tires in stock too, starting at just $30. Call for a quote right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, we are back. I'm Brian Craig. Steve Kane is here. Call us on hold. Stand by. We are... Yep.
I want to ask a key question here. If my understanding of what you're saying is correct, this thing is not going to become public.
What's not going to become public?
This conflict.
No, it's very public. Trump posted it on Truth Social. No, it's been made public. You just haven't seen it yet. Fox, Kamala being kicked. Kamala was kicked out of a White House Situation Room meeting the day before yesterday.
Did that news tidbit?
Yes, I saw it. I saw it first. This is where I heard it from. Was No. The day before yesterday, it was reported that Kamala Harris was kicked out of a Situation Room meeting at the White House. That's a big meet. Fox News. Steve Doocy, the Fox News White House correspondent. In fact, he was reporting on it live, and he says, right now I can see the vice president's motorcade leaving the White House grounds. So there's conflict. Now, I only heard him say it once, and they didn't repeat it, okay? But sometimes when you're watching live, you get real news as opposed to the company line. So that was live. Yeah, okay, and it must have been pretty heated. She must have gone out huffing and puffing for him to talk about seeing the cars drive away and everything. So he's like, I could see the motorcade speeding away as I'm reporting, he said, live, Doozy. So there's conflict. And that situation room meeting, Steve, had to be pretty important with Iran about to attack Israel and all this.
But those details have not been released publicly.
Well, unless you don't consider Steve Doocy live on Fox News public.
It's the way I'm picking it up, the way you describe it, it was like a moment that
he said Vice President Kamala Harris has been dismissed from a Situation Room meeting here at the White House, and then he says, as I'm reporting, I can see the Vice President's motorcade speeding away from the White House.
he let it dry. That.
Yeah, day before yesterday. Yeah, So if you don't consider that public live on Fox News, then no.
Public, but it's not the same thing as it was a topic all day.
Not on television. There's been a cover, but it happened. So there's a conflict.
There's a battle that develops from here.
Well, the only thing I could think of is, and this is the other thing we pieced together. Richie pointed this out in his call today, that when they called Biden to drop out, Jill was not there. She was at the Olympics. So they got him when she was gone, so they could, they call. It was a phone call between Biden and Obama, and they timed it so that Jill would not be there. Okay, so Jill would not be there. They wanted to talk. And that's when he put the screws and said, if you don't drop out the 25th Amendment, and if Jill was there, she would have stood her ground. So now she's back from the Olympics, and things are... Now, this does not mean that the Bidens are going to make a play at the convention, but they're planning on doing it.
It shows that there's no finality.
Well, they're planning on doing it. Yeah. And this pick yesterday, I think, involves a couple of things. One of which we talked about with the last caller. The second, I'll tell you later in the hour. Let's take some calls first. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Jay from Jersey.
Hey, Jay.
I'm sitting here listening to you, and I know you're going to hang up on me because you can't handle what I say. I'm sitting here listening to you. You're going on stuff you're just making up. I mean, how would this man know if Kamala got kicked out of the situation?
Because I'll tell. Okay, Jay from Jersey. I'll tell you why. Slow down. It was reported by Steve Doocy, who is the White House correspondent, who is there at the White House, has sources at the White House, and witnesses things in that part of the White House, and he witnessed it, and has sources.
Possible that the meeting could have been over and she had a plane to catch. Oh, that could not be possible, right?
That's not what he... No.
Oh, come on. Okay.
He said dismissed from the White House Situation Room meeting. Dismissed.
He wasn't...
Yeah. He was...
Sure. He would not know that.
The people that... The Biden camp leaked it. They wanted people to know. The Biden camp wanted people to know.
Listen to this. You're reporting on so many crazy sort of QAnon things.
I'm not making... That's Fox News. Fox News reported that.
You said that you were never even going to listen to Fox News again. So
well, I did. I slipped.
Oh,
but you told everybody else not to.
I didn't know. First off, I never said I was never going to watch Fox. I never said I was never going to watch Fox. I never said that. You made that up.
You did.
I said
everybody.
No, I did not.
Going to watch Fox.
No, well, if I did, which I don't think I did, it was in a moment of anger, and people say things when they're pissed off. If you had a wife, you'd know that. You know, married people say things when they get pissed off, right, Steve?
Okay.
Doesn't mean they mean it. Yeah. Doesn't mean they mean it.
This is a big thing that you seem to be reporting wrong on. She has come up and she has passed him in every poll.
That's not true.
Every poll. Yes, it is true.
No.
Yes, it is true.
No.
But you're reporting that is not true.
No. In fact, if you go to and anybody in this audience can do what I'm going to walk you through how to do this. Okay. I imagine you spend a lot of your time on the internet, Jay. It's not like you have somewhere to be. Go to everybody in the audience can verify what I'm telling you. Okay. Go to.
You're making up.
Well, exactly. So you're a nut? You think you're a nut?
You're making up lies. Even Steve is questioning you about what?
He's not questioning. He's just trying to clarify the stories. Okay, listen. Hold on, Jay. You all can fact check me. Okay, and everybody in this. No, I'm going to tell everyone how to fact check me in real time right now.
Why wouldn't you fact check now?
I've already done it.
Fact check.
I've already done it. I'm telling people how they can check what I'm saying. Okay? Now, excuse me. Let me get this out. Okay? Go to, excuse me. Listen. If white privilege exists, which you tell it does, can I invoke it so I can get a sentence out here? Okay, everyone go to realclearpolitics.com. This is how you can fact check me. realclearpolitics.com. In the top menu bar where it says Election 2024, okay, scroll down to Trump versus Harris. And then go through the battleground states, not the national polls, the battleground states. And you go through the polls there, Arizona, Nevada, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, and Georgia. And the Real Clear Politics average has Trump solidly ahead in each battleground state. I'm not talking about the meaningless national polls. No, they did not. They did not change. Then click on the electoral. Then click on the electoral college map. Right now, from the Real Clear Politics average, Donald Trump is leading in every battleground state. You need 270 electoral college votes to win. Trump is projected to have 297, and this is before that lunatic pick yesterday. No toss-up states are in play at this point, according to the Real Clear Politics average. So you guys go and fact-check me on that right now, and I'm not talking about the national polls. I'm talking about the toss-up battleground state polls. So, you know...
saying that, but you realize at the same time, none of that what you just said is true.
Then why would I tell everybody where to go online to see it?
Telling everybody a different story every single day.
No, I've been saying the same thing every day, going to the same site every day. And I've told people how to do this before. You can do it too, Jay. But
you're making up stories.
No, I'm not.
You're saying is not true.
None of the stuff I'm saying is not. Hold on. He said none of the stuff I'm saying is not true. Doesn't that mean everything I'm saying is true?
Yes. The Muslims are taking over. The Kamala, she just turned black. These are the things you're making up. I just sat and listened to you.
You're having a break from reality.
I'm just wondering why these people listen to the lies that you...
Well, you listen. You're listening.
I do, and I call you in and tell you you're lying.
They
can't handle it. You too old to let somebody tell you all these lies, and you believe it. You don't have a mind for yourself.
Then go to realclearpolitics.com. Go to
every single news station acting looking.
Oh, no.
And how she has come back.
They're quoting the meaningless national polls, Jay. That's what you don't understand. The national polls don't matter. You've got to go to the toss-up states. The national polls don't matter. You go to the battleground state polls, which is what I've been going to for weeks. And I've been citing this every day.
Money. Do you think she's losing and she's making way more money than he is? Do you see how much money she's raised?
She didn't raise that much. They transferred money that Biden had to her campaign account.
No, they did not. No, they did not.
All right.
Heard of all the money they went. There you go. Not even taking the truth.
No, we've got to take a break. You're having a break from reality. We're having a commercial break, okay? Oh, my goodness. What do you guys, I've been telling... I'd say he'd start drinking, but it seems like he's already done it. Oh, my goodness. All right, if you're on hold, stand by. We'll be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane.
Steve Kane Show. Hello? Hello? Yeah, hold on. Steve Kane Show. Hello? Hold on. Steve Kane Show. Hello? Hold on. Steve Kane Show. Ian, I was going through the lines to find you. You were almost the last line. Hold on.
Biden does try to make an attempt back. You have to go for his whole new vice president, right?
I guess he burned the bridge with Kamala. Yeah, exactly. That's a good question. Yeah.
He really would want that makes me think.
Yeah. That's funny. Oh, shoot. I forgot what line Ian's on. Ian? Hello? Hold on. Ian? Okay, hold on.
Back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at TrueOldiesSLA.com.
All right. Callers on hold, stand by. I'm Brian Craig. Steve Kane is here. You know, I don't know what you guys are doing to celebrate the victory of President Trump's inauguration, but I know what Steve and I are doing. We're going on a cruise. The 6th annual Steve Kane Cruise is right around the corner, and this time we're going on the Celebrity Ascent, and we have Ian from Cruise and Travel Depot on the line, and this is Ian, you with us? Okay, Ian from Cruise, he's with us. Okay, now this is I've been going on cruises since I was 18. And we've been on a lot. This will be our 6th cruise together. Steve, do you realize we will have spent 6 weeks at sea together? We're like in the Navy. We're like deployed. But a lot of people don't realize with our cruises how much is included. You know, on many of these cruise lines, like Carnival, they limit the number of drinks you can have a day. Their drink packages aren't included, and so much is included when you go on the Steve Kane cruises. Ian from Cruise and Travel Depot, can you tell people what's included?
Well, what's included when you take our standard group package is the classic beverage package, like you said.
Yep, the drinks.
diming the drinks, but not just the drinks. I mean, coffees, teas, sodas. I mean, I don't know about you, Brian. Actually, I do know, but we're at Cafe Al Baccio quite a lot, getting those, top tier lattes.
Yeah, so the drinks are included, and if you don't drink alcoholic beverages, it includes coffee, gourmet coffees, sodas, all the specialty like Evian water and glass bottles and all this fancy stuff. And the value of that is tremendous. Actually, it for two people, because a lot of people come single, but many people come as a couple. That's like $1,700 value for the week, right?
It's a crazy amount of...
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot.
Package. And the Wi-Fi, too. The Wi-Fi is worth a lot also.
Yeah, the internet is included, which is amazing, and that's why if you're with us on the cruise, I always have my phone with me, because I can phone home and everything, because I've got the Wi-Fi included, I've got the drinks included. And, our Steve Kane cruises, next time we talk, we'll get into some more detail with Ian, but... our shore excursions are all private, just for our group. So we go on the shore excursions on the islands. They are private just to our Steve Kane MAGA group. And we also have a lot of onboard events, including this time, Steve, this is amazing. We were able to, the cruise line, in celebration of our 6th cruise, they're allowing us to have one of our cocktail parties at the very top of the ship in that outdoor garden area, the highest point on the ship where they have that massive TV screen. And they told us we can show whatever we want on that screen while we're at sea. I don't know, so we'll figure out what it is. So you want to call Ian from Cruise and Travel Depot. He'll give you the details on pricing and everything, which varies by what cabin you pick. But you want to make your reservation now, because the ship is filling up, and there are certain cabin categories that are close to filling up already. Right, Ian?
There's several cabin categories that are closed.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, so...
Very special affair.
Absolutely. And the number to call Ian is 561-244-5779. 561-244-5779. That's Ian from Cruise and Travel Depot. Give him a call and join us March 30th on our 6th annual Steve Kane Show MAGA Cruise. All right, Ian, take care. We'll talk soon.
Have a great day.
All right, take care, take care. All right, we're back, Steve. Okay. You want to go back to the phones? Okay, let's see if there's any other. We've heard from 2 Democrats, Steve, today, and they were both unglued. So let's see what's going on. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, IB in Broward.
Hey, IB.
No, man, I'm breathing. Jay in Jersey reminds me of, and this is insulting to say, the dodo bird. I think a dodo bird is pretty...
A dodo bird, an extinct dinosaur? I don't know what that means.
Like Chernobyl, total meltdown.
Yes.
Total meltdown. And my brother says, people focus on the small things. Hey, Jay, how about was husband owning a company that has a balloon that probably circumnavigated our country to figure out where all our weak spots is to hurt us all, and she is not as radical as her husband? You got 2 crazy radicals living in the same house.
Well, this guy, you're right. You're like Clinton Hill. I appreciate that. Thanks for the call. Steve, Walz is a Chinese asset, which I'll tell you about later. I went through it in the first hour. He's got this stolen valor claim going on. He is an admitted communist. Okay, he wants to give ladders to illegals to climb Trump's walls. He put tampons in the boys' room at the schools of Minnesota. This guy does not have a single redeeming quality as a national candidate. I've never seen anything so insanely radical before. All right. Oh, it's, yeah. Instead of a dodo bird, a cuckoo bird. All right. Or I don't know. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Hey, Brian. Great day.
Brian, good morning, Steve. I watched the rollout of this new Veep. I knew Joe was going to be bad. I knew Kamala would be a bigger disaster. This guy is totally gone. I mean, like you just said, there's no redeeming value to this guy at all. This guy is totally gone. Not only what he says, but even the way he looks when he's talking about this stuff.
And his stolen valor, I must tell you, his stolen valor, even though he was actually in the Guard, is the worst case of stolen valor I have ever heard from an elected official. And I'll tell you why that is. Okay, a lot of guys pretend that they were in the service and weren't, and then they've got this Vietnam-era veteran thing. But with Walz, it's different. Okay? He was in the National Guard for 20-some-odd years. As soon as they got the orders to deploy to Iraq, he cowered out and he got out of it. So he didn't go with his 500 men to Iraq. And they interviewed the man who went to Iraq in his place yesterday afternoon. I have never heard an instance of stolen valor at that level that we have from Walz. It's really brutal.
But isn't that abandoning your military unit? Isn't that
yes
for that? You know, this guy. I'll be honest, stupid. I feel sad for the people who live in Minnesota. How could you live in that state with this cycle running the state? I mean, Mike Lindell was out there. Isn't that where his company?
Oh, Mike Lindell. Yesterday. Thanks for. I meant to mention this when I was doing the spot for My Pillow. Steve, Mike Lindell was on TV. He said Walz tried to get him kicked out of Minnesota yesterday because he's MAGA. Yeah, I mean, think about how many. What kind of governor tries to shut someone down and kick them out of the state because they like Trump when they're employing hundreds of Minnesotans? I've never heard of such a thing.
Mike Lindell seems like a great guy. He's always upbeat. I don't know how he stays so upbeat living in that.
And they have Mike Lindell has a factory and a warehouse and a distribution center, and there's a couple thousand people that work for him at these different things. And he tried to get him shut down and kicked out of Minnesota. 2,000 employees. That's like 10,000 people that make their living off of My Pillow. He wanted to have them out of work.
You remember when AOC, Amazon was going to come?
That's right. It's just like that.
Yeah, I mean, this is a psycho ticket.
It's psycho ticket. Yes, psycho ticket. It's a psycho ticket. Yes.
Freak job. That was the worst I've ever. A new VP, his introduction to the people of this country. Are you kidding me?
Let me ask you this: when is the Democratic convention?
That's like 2 weeks away. It's like the third week of the month, like the 19th or somewhere around there.
First day is 19th.
Yeah. So it's 12 days away. That's an eternity. An eternity.
I want to see this.
I'm wondering if this story we're discussing now will be a topic of general discussion in the country.
Everybody, yes. Are you kidding? Yes. And I can't wait for the poll. We haven't gotten any Kamala Walz polls yet. I can't. I know.
I must say, I saw JD on the Stu speaking, I guess the other day. That guy's getting better and better. He's a quick learner.
Yes.
Putting up. When he gets in that debate with this psycho.
Oh.
In the line.
Yeah.
That was terrible. That was really terrible.
Well, and the stolen valor thing, because J.D. Vance is a combat Marine, and to go up against and this guy. What he did, Steve, when his unit got the orders that they were going to go to Iraq and be in combat, all of a sudden he got out of it. He says, "Well, I'm going to run for Congress. I can't go." So he came up with he basically broke his knee. It's the equivalent of breaking your kneecap. You understand what I mean? And yeah, exactly. I mean, and it's beautiful.
That was his rollout. But I tell you that it was a disgrace. That's the worst rollout I think I've seen of any major political figure.
And he's a Chinese asset. Okay, he's been working for China since '89. He started his first time in China was right after Tiananmen Square. What kind of American? It's like going to Tehran. You go to Beijing after Tiananmen Square like a month or two later in '89. That's like going to Tehran after the hostage crisis. It was crazy. And he's visited there more than 30 times. He lived there. And
for his wedding, didn't he?
His honeymoon. He went there for his honeymoon. And, well, hey, it beats Bernie. It's not as bad as Bernie going to Moscow, all right? But but it's close. But he had a company of taking students there on student trips that was paid for by the CCP. And apparently, he was doing PR work for the Chinese government. So he's obviously a Chinese asset, a Chinese spy. He's a Chinese asset, yes.
No asset for this country, that's for damn.
Oh, he's a great asset for us. I mean, look at how he's helping us. He might as well be MAGA.
Yeah, that was really, I just couldn't believe it. And they're laughing it up with him and Kamala on the stage like their buddies and all this. I mean, it was just a disgrace.
Yeah.
How low is the Democratic Party going to sink?
Mm-hmm.
Shapiro wasn't much better. I saw him speaking at that thing too, and he looks like a.
Shapiro looks insane. Yeah. He looked insane, and you know, I think what they did. I know he spoke right, but he obviously thought he was going to be the pick because they had the event in his state in Philly. So they have the announcement for VP in his town, and they give it to somebody else. That he must have been pissed off.
You know why you wonder who now is the great intellect in the Democratic Party? I don't think there is one.
No.
I can't think of anybody. Donald Trump is a brilliant man, but in the Democratic Party, I mean,
MSNBC reported that he's a moderate that will connect with Midwestern Americans yesterday.
Well, I hope the American people got to take a real close look at this because this guy's no moderate. They're all psychos, and
let me tell you, I do not know of a elected official that is as far to the left as this guy. You know, the squad, Bernie Sanders, he's more extreme than they are. Yeah. He really is. And
leave. I mean, these other two were total nut jobs until this guy came around. Now he makes him look like a martyr.
I mean, look at his wife. They're burning down our city, so I opened up the windows so I could smell the burning tires, so I could be a part of it. I mean, what kind of? I mean, that's insane.
This is they're way out there, way gone. Like I said, I feel sorry for our fellow citizens.
I mean, there's no concern that they're burning the tires at some poor man's tire business. She doesn't even, she's the first lady of the state, and she doesn't care that some guy's tire business is getting burned down. She's just smelling the burning tires so she can feel a part of BLM.
Now they want to burn down the United States. I mean, these people get in, they'll do that. It's terrible.
Mm-hmm. All right, appreciate the call. We got to run. We'll be right back.
Making morning radio great again.
I think you're gonna really love it.
It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Oh, yeah, Peter Ducey, yes. I misspoke in my excitement. Peter Ducey.
Right now it is 78 degrees outside. As we go throughout the day, though, temperatures are going to reach as high as 93 degrees with a heat advisory in effect until 5:45 p.m. later this evening. There are a few chances of some scattered showers as we go into the later hours of the day, so keep your umbrella close by, stay cool, stay hydrated, and enjoy your rest of your Wednesday morning.
Weather brought to you by All Year Cooling. Enjoy free AC replacement estimates along with same-day service and installation. Visit allyearcooling.com to schedule your service today. And remember, the All Year family is here to serve your family all year long. And now, a True Oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
Heads up in West Palm Beach, the off-ramp, 2 right lanes are blocked, 95 northbound to 45th Street causing slowdowns. In Boynton Beach, a crash has the on-ramp blocked, 95 north from Old Wright Road. This traffic update is sponsored by Mattress Firm. It's Mattress Firm's semi-annual sale and clearance. Save up to 60% on a wide selection of quality mattresses at every price. Plus, score a free adjustable base with quality purchase. Hurry and stop by Mattress Firm today. That's traffic. I'm Dory Don.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. BBKC offers exciting OTB action on top horse tracks, including Saratoga Racetrack, now through September 1st. Visit our incredible paddock restaurant with over 140 new HD TVs, big screens, exceptional dining, and full bar. Coming up live in the paddock, it's the Rat Pack Now, August 23rd. Comedian Johnny Kumba, September 28th. The Pure Zeppelin Experience, October
was the more initially, I admit that I was surprised and disappointed by this choice. I thought that Josh Shapiro was the more obvious choice. Walz is much more TBD. Sometimes governors have a hard time scaling up, and I think it's very, very important for this ticket to appeal and reach out to the center and to moderate voters. I thought they would have done that with Shapiro. I think it's more of a question mark with Walz. But I think you're asking exactly the right question here. You know, how does this play? And it's funny. I wrote my Substack newsletter late last night. That maybe we're thinking about this all wrong, and I came down exactly where you are on all of this. That we're so used to thinking of this in ideological terms, when maybe it will be something else. Maybe it will be not decided on policy, but decided on personality and perception. His biography, the vibe that he was thinking about this all wrong, and I.
All right, we're back. Calls on hold, stand by. I'm Brian Craig, Steve Kane here. You want to take more calls, Steve? All right, let's go. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello, Brian.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes. Hi. How are you? I'm gonna start with the stuff. Is it in March the cruise?
Yeah, we leave March 30th for 7 days on the Celebrity Ascent.
So I would love to come with my fiance and I, so he has to not work.
Well, you know, we have a lot of single people that come. A lot of people come alone. Some come alone every year. It's a mega family, the Steve Kane Show cruise. So you'll have a good time.
Yeah. I would prefer that to enjoy with him.
Well, maybe next time. Maybe on the 7th one. Anyway, what's on your mind?
You put is it the same ship?
No, we're going on the newest ship, the Celebrity Ascent, which is a brand new ship we've not been on.
Okay, because I heard the other ship, it was so beautiful.
Oh, this one's beautiful too. The Celebrity Ascent. It's very beautiful.
Okay, no call. I'm gonna see. For sure.
Okay.
I'm gonna start with the bad. The bad stuff is that you see Jay. Okay, Jay is like close-minded, but
Jay from Jersey.
Yeah, and the thing is that's what I'm worried. That things that you say, old people. My uncle every time is the same thing, but he's not like close-minded. He doesn't know. That's what I'm worried that people don't know. Old, especially people who are elderly people who are not connected. You know what I mean? I'm worried.
Well, I don't know what you're worried about. Things could not be going better.
No, but the general population, they know.
Well, listen, it's been not quite 24 hours since the announcement. Give it a couple days, everybody will know. I mean, it'll take a couple days, but but millions already know.
So Kamala is still listed as the candidate.
Well, get this. Yeah, well, get this, Steve. No, she hasn't gotten the nomination yet. Get this. Mike, our board op, he came in during the break, and he asked a very good question. Listen to this. He said, if Biden goes for the nomination, right, and tries to get it back, and he gets it, who's his running mate going to be? It can't be Kamala. If he takes it back from her, he would have burned that bridge. He'd have to pick somebody else. Oh, my goodness. This is the chaos that's going on here inside the Democrat Party is beautiful.
Excuse me. Hi, Steve. How are you? And she smells. Thank you. She smells the gas. She smells.
She smells. What'd you say?
No, the wife of the governor.
Oh, the wife. Yes, Walz's wife. When BLM and Antifa were burning down Minneapolis, Minnesota, of which, her husband's the governor of the state. She opened up the window so she could smell the burning tires so she could be a part of it. And yes, she's in. All right, hopefully we'll see you on the cruise. Take care. All right. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
James from Boca.
Hey, James.
Hey, Jim.
Hello, Steve. Good morning. You brought up England. It seems a little bit ago, but everything that happens in England is like 3 years ahead of what's going to happen in America. It seems like.
I don't agree, but go ahead.
Well, there's a reporter from Sky News over there, and she was surrounded by a bunch of Muslims with.
Yes.
And you being out in public, the same thing could happen to you.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Well, no, I don't want it to, but I'm saying the realm of America right now is so undetermined what is really going on.
You've never seen me in a machete fight. Don't worry about me.
But what I'm saying is, no, I'm not saying she wasn't fighting them either, but being surrounded.
Listen. England has fallen. It's gone. It's done. It's not coming back. But it's tiny. It's like the size of Florida. A little bit bigger than Florida. We're big.
I got great news in my family. About 2 weeks ago, my eldest daughter, well, actually, she's not my eldest, the youngest of my eldest daughters.
Whatever, the youngest of the eldest?
Is moving back from England, and the whole family's going to be reunited again.
Really? She's been living there for like 15 years.
Yes. She's going to.
Well, God bless, she's coming back.
Is she leaving because of the Muslim hordes conquering the country?
This is the whole thing. The country's falling. It's like here. The thing is falling apart.
She may come back speaking Arabic.
No, she's going to find English husband.
Okay, that's good news. I'm shocked to hear that, by the way.
To take care of her, that's Courtney.
Yeah, that's surprising. Hey, listen, I appreciate the call and that machete talk. I don't appreciate that, but I want to tell people, when it comes to security, right, you want to call Sloman's. The free doorbell camera offer from Sloman's with the installation of your Sloman Shield offer is back for a limited time. I have that doorbell camera, so I know that it's obviously, its main purpose is security. It's part of your security system. But I got to tell you, Steve, it's so convenient. You get a notification on your phone every time there's movement at your door. So you never have to go to your door and open it unless you want to see who's there. It's really convenient. People deliver packages and things like that, salesmen, solicitors and all that stuff. It's a convenience. I love it no matter where you are in the world. Like when we're on our cruise, because I got the internet, I get a notification on my phone when there's movement at my door. And you get this doorbell camera for free from Sloman's with the installation of your Sloman Shield. They're also going to give you a free customized home security system and professional installation when you use Sloman's low-cost central station monitoring, which gives you an LED touchscreen, a motion detector, 10 contacts, a lifetime warranty, as well as a backup battery. And don't forget, you can get that free doorbell camera with the installation of your Sloman Shield. Here's the number, 1-833-283-5050. 1-833-283-5050. 1-833-283-5050. We'll be right back.
Cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9.
All right, and it's time to check in with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated in Boca with the morning gold and precious metals report. William Youngerman, how are the metals looking?
Gold up this morning, down a little bit yesterday, giving us a little bit more of a buying opportunity, but that may be evaporating very quickly as the metals are still showing strong demand under $2,400 whenever it gets under there. Yesterday we saw gold trade in the range of $2,381 to $2,418. Closing out the day down $19.70 at $2,390.70 the ounce. Silver closed down 26 cents at $26.97. Platinum was up $4 at $9.13, and palladium was up $17 at $8.47. Overnight, we saw gold trading in a range of $23.78 on the low to $24.04. We're near the highs right now at $2,402 the ounce. That's up $11.30. When you think about what has happened in the financial markets all over the world, and you look at gold is down maybe $75 from its all-time record highs right now. Nothing compared to the gains that we've seen. At $2,402, gold is doing very well. Silver, $27 right now, up 3 cents. Platinum gaining another $17 at $9.30, and palladium up $27 at $874. The two white metals there, palladium and platinum, are doing pretty good on anticipation that maybe, just maybe, we won't be going into a recession, and that those are industrial metals that do well when we are in an inflationary economy and when the economy is going strong. So that's something to watch, which we're seeing right now, bouncing off their very lows.
Yeah, and platinum, William Youngman, we don't talk about platinum so much, but platinum is available in bars and coins as well. Can you tell people about platinum and what it's available in specifically? Because it's really a very rare metal, and it's a beautiful one too.
It's 15 times rarer than gold, and is available in coins, 1 ounce, half ounce, smaller denomination coins, and also in 1 ounce bars and 10 ounce bars, all of which we have in stock for immediate delivery. So
yeah, and platinum coins are available from like the sovereign mints. Like there's an American. What is it? Is there a platinum eagle? What's it called?
It's called American Eagle, Platinum Eagle, beautiful coin, and the U.S. Mint makes those. We have Royal Canadian Mint, Maple Leafs, Platinum, and several other countries. They make beautiful coins.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, listen, William Youngman opens up at 10 a.m. His address, 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca, on the first floor of the Bank of America building, just east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. You could give him a call toll-free, and remember, you could do your transactions no matter where you're located on the planet over the phone and through the mail with William Youngman at 1-800-327-5010, 1-800-327-5010, and online, WilliamYoungerman.com. All right, William Youngman, we will talk tomorrow.
Have a great day.
All right, we'll be right back. All right, I wanted to play this clip of this. This is MSNBC trying to process Walz, Steve. Okay, they have Charlie Sykes on, who's a lunatic, and he's describing Walz. Okay, keep in mind he's talking about Walz.
Exactly where you are on all of this, that we're so used to thinking of this in ideological terms, when maybe it will be something else. Maybe it will be not decided on policy, but decided on personality and perception. His biography, the vibe that he gives out, he may have a very progressive governing record, but he reads moderate, and he
reads moderate. Yeah, let me play a little bit more of that. I got to see where he's going. He's talking about Walz.
He may have a very progressive governing record, but he reads moderate, and he talks like a regular person rather than a politician.
Really, he said he put tampons in the boys' room. He said
average person.
Yeah, he gave driver's licenses to illegals. He, while holding the hand of a 12-year-old, he signed legislation allowing underage children who can't get their ears pierced without parental permission to have gender reassignment sex change operations. So I don't know how that reads moderate to Charlie Sykes. What's liberal to Charlie Sykes?
He reads moderate, and he talks like a regular person rather than a politician, which will play well in rural areas. Look, there are 3 big constituencies here in Wisconsin. It's three crucial constituency. Number 1 is the Democratic base in Milwaukee and Madison. Can they generate enough enthusiasm to turn out big numbers?
Okay, I don't know what he's talking. He's so confused. Walz is from Minnesota. He's talking about Wisconsin. I mean, my good. They really don't care about their viewers, their audience. To lie to your audience that way that's really bad. That's really bad. It doesn't mean you can't be mistaken, but to call this guy anything but what he is, a radical, extremist, communist. You know, a lot of people throw communist around at every liberal. I don't do that. This guy is an admitted communist, right? I mean, and he's and MSNBC's Charlie Sykes is calling him a moderate. Come on, you're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Steve and Brian. Good morning. It's JJ from Mass.
Hey,
JJ.
Hey, Steve. A lot of crazy. I mean, you know, this bag of stupidity on the nation of pain just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
What do you make of it? I'm here. You're an educated listener. What do you make of all this? Where is this going?
Well, you know, it's hard sometimes for people to, sane people to imagine insanity, but we're getting to see it. It's like a bad movie in a way to me. I mean, I look at it like, I guess you could bring in the cereal like Corn Pop. You could say it's sort of like Applejack and Cracker Jack meet Simple Jack. You know, Ben Stiller the other day, Tug Speedman, and talking about, and then there's Biden always saying no joke Jack. But they pick this guy. I look at, like, say, the Democrats always saying walls don't work, and then what do? They pick a guy named Walz. So there's bad omen, bad karma, if you will, going into. It's hard to explain it. I can't. It's like they're sowing the seeds of their own destruction. It's like they want it to happen.
How do you use your imagination and tell me how you see this playing out over the next month or two?
I see the possibility of a lot of trouble being stirred up. That's the only thing that can save the Democrats. They don't have a shot. So I think
use names.
Well, you've got Walz. What did Walz do in Minnesota? He oversaw what? A lot of riots.
the burning down of the state.
And why did they do that? Why does
pandering?
Why do they allow the grocery stores and the drug stores and everything to be destroyed? Why do they do that? They do it because it secures the dependency of the vote. I don't want to get into significant.
Yeah.
They secure their own power status in that they're going to rule the ashes, but the more those people in those areas now, they're not better off.
When we watch the convention, are we going to watch a rehash of a battle between the two ladies?
Jill Biden.
Well, I think that the dismissal the other day is very, very interesting stuff. I mean, to me, that's got nothing to do with anything righteous. It had nothing to do with security.
Is that conflict going to escalate? Is what I mean.
Could it go up in flames? I think the probability is there for that to happen. I really do. Because I mean, it's not Joe. I mean, Joe's only decisions nowadays are probably sugar cone or waffle cone, or maybe a characters on his pull-ups. He's not making any decisions at all. And
but Jill is pissed and humiliated.
Exactly, and that a woman scorn type of thing. And I think that your analysis, Brian, of her being away, and then they went in and they went after the feeble old man and got him to lay down. I think there's definitely there's something there. I think there's something to that. But they're not serious. These are not serious people. Okay.
No, this is, you know what this is? We talk about sacrifice candidates. This is a sacrifice campaign. It has it's like Bob Dole, McCain. There's sacrifice candidates when you know a campaign's not going to win. Kamala Harris is a sacrifice candidate.
Yeah, I just see the only thing. I mean, I'm really worried about all the things happening in the Democrats, what they might try to do.
The Democrats can't even agree on their nominee. How are they going to mobilize to do anything? Hey, listen, I appreciate the call. We were talking with William Youngman. He was talking about the markets. You know, the stock market's going crazy, going down, back up. By the way, it went up probably yesterday because Walz just firmed up even more that Trump's coming back. And probably since Trump's coming back, the market's performing well. But, you know, those ups and downs of the stock market, that can be stressful. To me, I couldn't live that way. You want to call Joe Thomas, okay? If you're already retired, he can help you. If you plan on retiring at any point in your life, whether it's Friday or Friday 25 years from now, Joe Thomas can help. For over 30 years, he's been in the retirement planning business. He's a 5-time qualifying member of the $1 Million Roundtable, which is achieved by less than 1% of all financial advisors in the world. He's a top man in the industry, and he's offering you 2 things for free. 1, free copies of his book, The Retirement Know-It-All. I've read the book. It's a great book. It's a quick and easy read filled with all kinds of actionable advice for those who are retired or planning on retiring. But he's also offering free phone consultations, which you can take advantage of no matter where you're located. His number, 561-743-0999. 561-743-0999. And if you missed the number, just go to his website, jupiterjoe.com. All right, jupiterjoe.com. All right, I wanted to play this clip of Ben Stiller. Did you see this at all, Steve? You know, Ben Stiller, the actor. He used to make movies that people wanted to see.
Yes.
Yeah.
He used to be great.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I just want to let you know I'm going to match your $150,000 donation. Everybody's got to get out and vote and donate. And she's also a historic candidate. You know, it's going to be the first woman president. And that's incredibly exciting. And, you know, she's Indian, she's black, she's everything. You can be more than one thing. It's incredible. You know, I'm Jewish and Irish. I wish I was black. Every white Jewish guy wishes he was black.
By the way, Steve, is that true? You're a Jew. Do all Jews wish they were black men?
No.
Ben Stiller says they do. But the reason I play... he's donating $150,000 to Kamala. He says she's a woman, she's black, she's Indian. You got to vote for her. Doesn't that mean that's a DEI vote, right? So why was it racist at the National Black Broadcaster Journalist Racially Segregated Media Organization for Trump to suggest she's a DEI hire when Ben Stiller is saying vote for her, she's a black Indian woman? That sounds like DEI to me, affirmative action. I don't understand. Anyway, maybe, you know, he sounds like a lunatic here. I'm wondering if that's Ben Stiller doing a skit as Zoolander. Remember Zoolander? He was pretty stupid. Yeah. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Joanne from Fort Lauderdale.
Hey, Joanne.
So yesterday, I heard you say the Democrats are not going to try and cheat. Of course they're going to try and cheat. I was shocked when you said that.
Okay, let me tell you. No, hold on. What I was no, that's not what I was going to say. What I was telling a caller is Democrats have always played these games since they've been a party, and the first time I know of it is when they didn't have Lincoln on the ballot in the southern states, and we've won many elections. Okay, so they've always done things, but they don't have an organization to do anything meaningful nationwide, and you shouldn't worry about, especially with this joke of a campaign they put together. Jamie Raskin. Joe Ellen, listen, I'm only being short because we're towards the end of the show, so I don't want you to think I'm just rolling over you. But well, that's nothing. Democrats always make those motions. Listen.
He doesn't say anything without bringing the receipts, and so he knows that this is enough.
Okay, but there's context, and I've only got a couple seconds, but I'll tell you this: every time a Republican wins, Democrats in the House make that motion. It goes nowhere because we have the majority. Okay. The second thing is people act like Democrats just started doing this stuff when Trump was on the scene. They've been doing it for 170 years. Okay, and we've won many elections. Okay, so it's not something they just started with Trump. What I'm telling you is they don't have the industrial operation to pull anything off now. They're too disorganized.
These Democrats these days are nothing like the Democrats back in the old days. Okay, they are evil.
They've always been evil. They've always been evil. All right, take care. I appreciate the call. Remember, look up Boss Tweed. The Democrats have always, all All right, listen, we're out of time. We'll be back tomorrow. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. Steve Kane, of course, has been here. See you tomorrow, 6 a.m.
WSFS 104.3 HD.
All right, guys. Hey, listen, thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe. And if you're already sub, please like the video, okay? I got to clear out the studio. Make room for the next show, all right? Take care, guys.